All right, so hello. I'm going to be giving the readings today. All of the readings today were paid for in advance, and everybody who was meant to get their secret code names got them via PM. So you know who you are and what code name is for you. All of the timestamps will be in the description and the comments. After the live is over, I'll go back and I'll make sure all the timestamps are in there for you. So once it loads, if they're not in there yet, just give me a few minutes and bear with, and I'll make sure that they're up there for you. If you did not get one, but you resonate to one of the secret code names, then there is most likely a message in there for you. Now, I do know that the internet has been a little bit sketch when it comes to YouTube. So I have a second device just recording on the camera, okay, just the camera. So if for whatever reason YouTube loses chunks of any of the readings or the connection isn't great and there's missing pieces, I will be loading up a clean cut video with no skips, okay? And I'll transfer all of the information, you know, timestamps and everything to it from there. If for whatever reason this live ends up missing pieces, okay? So I have a backup so no one loses their readings, all right? The secret code names are Purple Balloons, Blackbird, and I totally got pinged for the song by the Beatles, okay? Yellow Dahlias, Feel the Rush, Lightning on the Water, Cosmic Egg, Fast Car Boulevard, Angel Wings, Phantom Shadows, and Crystal Lake. Okay, those are the secret code names for the Heal Yourself New Moon in Aries event. All right, so if you didn't get one of those code names, but you resonate to one of those code names, there's probably a message in there for you. For anybody not familiar with me or my channel, I have no filter. Anything can come out of my mouth at any time, any topic, any adult language. So just be well aware of that. If you have kids around or you just don't appreciate that kind of a reading, you know, I'm always giving you the opportunity to sign off now. Otherwise, we are going to be getting into this. I have quite a few decks pulled out. I'm not doing tarot. These are going to be straight oracle readings. I have my Chakra Insight Oracle deck, my Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle deck, my Archetype Cards by Carolyn Miss, The Universe Has Your Back deck, my Power of Love deck that I use as a remember deck, and the Work Your Light Oracle cards. All right, so I'm going to be pulling all of those for the readings today, and I'm super excited because the intention is to help you really focus on what's going on in your own inner world. Okay, this isn't about necessarily anybody else. This is about your relationship with you and how you can better that relationship with you so that it mirrors in your outer experience with other people, okay? We're doing a lot of self-work here and self-awareness. So we're going to start with Purple Balloons. I'm going to pull all of the cards and then I'm going to get into the actual reading of them. All right, so starting with the first deck, code name Purple Balloons. We're going to do that. Let's mark it at the, oh, it's 3:33 on the timer. All right, so Purple Balloons is going to be at the 3-minute and 33-second mark. Awesome. Awesome. So here we go. Code name Purple Balloons. Code name Purple Balloons. Chakra Insight Oracle. Spirit, what is the actual shock focus for the healing for code name Purple Balloons and those who would resonate to this message? Who would resonate to that code name? What is the focus on the healing for them, please? What chakra focus? For, oh, that's way too many. Just give me one. Just give me one. We got a lot of decks and a lot of code names to get through. Let's see. There we go. Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle. What card above all other cards, Spirit, please, for codename Purple Balloons and those who would resonate to this message? What card above all other cards for this wonderful Heal Yourself theme? Okay. We've got two. I'm being told to keep them. All right, and what is the archetypal energy? Now, the archetype cards have a light attribute and a shadow attribute. So, The light attribute is what you should be geared or focused towards. The shadow attribute can be what you're dealing with within yourself that's mirroring in people outside of you, or what you're dealing with from outside people that you need to be aware of, and hit it with the light element, okay? We got 2 cards for that too. All right. We're going to keep them. Universe has your back, deck. Spirit, please. What card above all other cards? The code name Purple Balloons. Love your Power of Love cards. Reminder. And a special message from the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay. Okay. So here we go. We've got a lot of cards here. All right. We've got a lot of cards here. And we start off with the inner child and the solar plexus chakra. Okay, so when we talk about the inner child healing, it's getting back in touch with the joy of life and the wonder of it, right? That you can create with your vibes everything that you want in your reality that literally makes your heart sing. All right, the keywords are playfulness, lightheartedness, innocence, and wonder. And it's about releasing the jaded feeling that life has given all of us as adults. Okay, because we've all been jaded by things. We've all been jaded by work situations. We've all been jaded by family situations. We've all been jaded by romantic situations, right? We've been jaded by friendship situations. So, there's a lot of distrust between ourselves and life experience because, we've gotten hit with things that we didn't necessarily want to get hit with or experience, and we're afraid to do things again. Or, we were taught certain things like, oh, don't be like that, or that's impossible, or you're just one person. Who do you think you are thinking you can do this or do that, or, some miraculous idea. It's about getting back in touch with the part of you that says, I can do anything and everything is possible. Because when you're a kid, that's what you're like. You're like, oh, I want to be a singer, and you really believe it. You know what I mean? And it's getting back in touch with that I can do anything mentality, being confident, right, in your authenticity, which is what solar plexus work is all about. It's about being authentic and really listening to what feels good, not necessarily knowing how it's all going to work out in your favor, or how it's all going to work out, to create the dream that you see in the long run, but knowing that these, little individual steps are taking you there because you believe it, right? Because you believe it and you're allowing your soul to believe it. And so when you are in that state of belief, it does start to manifest with your inner pangs. It starts to manifest with your inspirations or these bright ideas, these aha moments that you have. Like once you're solid in a belief that you can accomplish something, spirit kind of propels you along the way, and then it's just your job to listen. So with that, we do have card number 26 and card number 28, Lioness and Medicine Wisdom, from the Inner Goddess Oracle. And the one card, it's awesome because it's totally solar plexus work, is Lionhearted, right? It says it real big on there, Lionhearted. And that's really Archangel Ariel energy. That's the strength of the heart, the courage of God, the strength of the heart within. So let me read from the book, because I love this deck and I love the interpretations that Lana Fairchild gives. So I'm going to read just a little bit of the book from this particular deck when I do the readings. Lioness, right? It says, in a reading, your ability to love yourself and be empowered is maturing. You are learning that the real beauty and value of you comes from within. You're learning to rise above emotional game playing with honesty. You can enjoy your attractiveness as a person without allowing it to control your life or your sense of self-worth. If others try and control you through their opinions about your appearance or in any other way, you will be strong enough to recognize it as their issue and nothing to do with you. Others will be attracted to your true inner beauty, appreciating your loveliness and enjoying how it helps them feel good about who they are too. Because at the end of the day, I don't think, if you had to be called a bitch or you had to be called a liar, and I was having this conversation earlier, so of course, right, divine timing, I would rather be called a bitch than a liar. because at least I'm honest. Right? And that's what it comes down to. At least you're honest, and that's your authenticity. That's being brave. And someone says, "Oh, well, I like your hair better curly." Be like, "Yeah, well, I really do like it straight." You're not going to freak out and think you're ugly because you have straight hair and someone else likes it curly. You know what I mean? It's like, "Well, I like it straight. Thanks for your opinion." At the end of the day, that person has something they don't like about themselves that they feel like they can't change, and so they're projecting that out at you. You know what I mean? It's their problem. If they like your hair curly and you wear it straight, that's their problem. You know, as stupid and little as that sounds, it's the truth. You know, if you have feelings about something or someone, and you're expressing it in a way that's sincere and honest, like, listen, like, I know maybe it doesn't matter to you, but it matters to me to make sure that I express this to you in a way that, you know, you understand either where I'm coming from or what my intention is or whatever. Like, you have to be really able to voice that truth and not care how anybody reacts to it, because it sits right with you to say it. It sits right with you to make someone else aware of it, and how they take it or how they react to it is really it's a part of their healing, or you wouldn't have been guided to make sure to say it, because, you know, at the end of the day, you're the one that has to sleep at night with yourself. You know, you're the one that sleeps with your mind racing or not. You're the one that is worrying about something, you know, that someone else feels or doesn't know, or if they only knew or not. You know what I mean? So be very clear with yourself. Know that it's okay to speak whatever you need to speak, do whatever you need to do, look however you want to look, act however you want to act. Like, you have to be able to sit okay with you. And if you love you, that's all that fucking matters. Because if someone doesn't like how you're you all the time, one, they don't like themselves very much. Okay? They don't like themselves very much if they're taking it out on you. And if that's the kind of person they are and you're just being yourself and it pushes them away, well, isn't that divine? You're taking your thief of joy and authenticity away just by being yourself, staying in your alignment. And all of a sudden that person's not interacting with you as much, or talking to you as much, or interfering in your day as much, or trying to put you down as much, or telling you how to be a better you for them as much, right? So just be yourself. Medicine Woman. Card number 28. The Earth Mother agrees to support your wants and needs, to help you live your best life and fulfill your dreams. Her generosity and her power to assist you is beyond what you can imagine. She's already leading you towards your sacred life purpose, providing exactly what is needed for your soul to blossom, just as she creates what is needed for the flowers of the earth to bloom. This is confirmation that you are on your sacred path, and it takes some twists and turns, but you are headed in the right direction, and you're being supported in all ways to gain all the experiences and blessings that are meant for you. So let that be divine confirmation, right? When you step into your authenticity, let's talk about this. When you set real solid, when you're sitting real solid in your authenticity, you become a walking, breathing, living, rippling trigger for people who are not in their authenticity. And initially, when you're going through this kind of emerging from the chrysalis phase, it's almost like the caterpillars are gawking at the butterfly like, oh, she's a butterfly. It's like, bitch, you're all going to be butterflies. Just because I was a butterfly first, you're hating on me because I got wings? You know what I mean? Like, you're all going to go through it. And their experience with you as the person, you're going to be triggering people. Okay? You're going to be triggering people. Sometimes it's in a good way, and sometimes they're in a very reactive space. You know, sometimes people really appreciate the honesty and they could take it for what it is and they can apply it constructively to themselves. And sometimes they don't, and you are the biggest fucking bitch in the world, right? Or the biggest asshole because you were just honest with them. And nobody else has been honest with them for a really long time, not even themselves. Right? So just be prepared. It's not you. You stay lit. You stay lit in your authentic path, right? You stay excited and looking forward to the joy and the wonder of life and what you're creating with your beautiful high vibe, because you're being honest and real with you and everybody else, and you ain't casting no shade on yourself, right? And if others want to cast shade, it's like, just shine a little bit brighter, right? Just shine a little bit brighter. Be like, you know what? I greatly appreciate you and my experience, and I wish you nothing but the best. And you know, I'm always here if you change your mind and you kind of understand where I was coming from, right? And you just like, bye. You just let them go, right? You just let them go, because I guarantee you, if someone's triggered by you and you were in the right, or your heart was in the right place, or, you know, your intention was set and where you came from was good and genuine, that person will eventually come back around. And they will acknowledge that with you, okay? They will acknowledge that in divine time, as they're going through their healing, right? When they start coming out of their own chrysalis and they're emerging into being a butterfly, and they're like, okay, I totally get what they were saying now. I wasn't aware then, but I'm very aware now, right? So you take other people for a grain of salt while you're shining, because everybody's going to try and dim your light to bring you back down to their level, but we're not staying on that level, because that level doesn't manifest what we want to manifest, which is our dreams, right? This is our authentic path. So, archetype cards, we got the Knight and we got the Alchemist. All right. The shadow attributes that are potentially being projected at you from other people, which is reflecting some kind of inner dynamic within the self that you need to be made aware of, right? The shadow attributes are allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle and romantic delusions, and the misuse of power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. Okay. With those energies being the shadow, let's talk about the Knight just by itself for a second, with this being the shadow. A destructive ruler or principle and romantic delusions. I'll give you an example. Well, I'm a woman. The guy should reach out first. Well, he should ask me out. Well, if he were interested. What if the person that you really like is really shy or really hurt from past relationships and actually might really like you, but he's absolutely terrified? And maybe you just saying, hey, we should go out for a coffee sometime, or you want to catch up for lunch, or, you know, you can always call me after work. Let me give you my number. Having fun with the divine, right? Well, I like him. Maybe he feels the same way. I don't know. I'm assuming he doesn't because he hasn't actually asked me. But I like him. So maybe I'll just initiate it. Fuck it. Right? Why not? What's the worst that could happen? He's not interested. Does that mean I'm not pretty? Does that mean I'm not beautiful? Does that mean I'm not a good person? No. But you definitely let someone know that they were worth being interested in, and maybe that's what they needed. Maybe they need to rebuild confidence. And your confidence is rippling, right? Your fearlessness is rippling, because now that you weren't afraid to approach them, they're not afraid to respond. Because you came very lighthearted. You know what I mean? And like, I like you. I enjoy talking to you. You want to go out sometime? Like maybe just outside of work or outside of our social circle of friends, like just us? It's a typical romantic delusion, right? When people are playing these emotional games. The lioness was talking about that, playing emotional games or mind games, you know, that has to be a certain way. So think about what you're giving your allegiance to as a belief that is potentially destructive, right? And that was just one example, so you could take it how it applies. The shadow of the alchemist, right? Misuse of the power and knowledge that come through spiritual practice. So you know, too, that you can manifest anything. You can draw anything to yourself. Well, I just won't. Well, if it was meant to be, he would. But you're the one getting the ping to say something. And so it's like, well, my spirituality tells me if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And I'm a divine feminine goddess, and so I can manifest anything. I shouldn't have to do anything to make it happen. Yeah, but we're all divinely dualistic, and you also have a masculine energy within yourself that, you know, requires, you know, manifestation requires action. You can't just manifest being on stage and singing for a crowd of 1 million people. You might have to go to an audition first. You might have to get signed a record label, you know, if you want to be a singer, you know, so you kind of have to take actions to get there. So it's not allowing yourself to use spirituality as an excuse to stay in fear state with your old beliefs, right, with your old beliefs. This is about listening to your inner pangs and following it without abandon or any fear of rejection. Because the worst that can happen is what? You still love yourself. You were still honest. You still took action and went for it. You have no beef between you and you, right? Think about it. The light attributes are loyalty, romance, and chivalry. A love of honor, right? Love of self, loyalty to self, loving the self, being courteous to the self, right? Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. So instead of saying, well, I could just receive everything, yeah, but you can also take actions towards everything too. You can also take actions towards everything. So you're transforming your base motives, which is maybe to be loved or have a successful career in this department or that department or whatever. And transforming that intention and goal with golden wisdom is action, golden. It's the solar plexus. I mean, it's the action-oriented chakra. That's where all of our willpower comes from. So this is a major, major, major theme if you are in the purple balloons code name category, right? This is about being really authentic, really listening to yourself and not taking anything personal, because you know in your heart to hearts that you're doing what you're aligned to do. You don't know why you're aligned to do it. You don't know why you're being guided to do it, why you're being guided to say it, or where it's going to go or not go or lead elsewhere. You don't know. You just fully trust your authentic self, that each little step and each action that you're taking in this moment is going to get you in the right direction, right? It's going to head you in the right direction to whoever you are meant to be with, or whatever career path you do want to see yourself aligned with. You know, this is really getting in touch with that energy. So then we have Universe has your back deck. When I focus on my inner light, I see the world through the lens of love. It's your inner light. It's your inner child. You see the world through the lens of love, right? This is universal divine love. Like maybe you do tell this person that you want to go out with them, or you'd like to see more of them outside of just how you know them. And like I said, maybe they don't take you up on it. Maybe their interest is elsewhere. But that's okay, because maybe, just maybe, they needed to feel like they were attractive for a moment. Maybe they thought you were out of their league. And now it's triggering their confidence, right? And so that's the lens of love with the divine. See how the divine works, right? It doesn't always turn out the way we egoically want it to turn out, but it always turns out the way it's divinely meant to turn out, just by listening. And the remember card is harmony. Remember card is harmony. It says you are able to feel a loving, balanced connection with everything. You understand that the universe is using your ability to consciously tune into yourself as a divine tool for the collective, because we're all one. When you tune in and realize that you have this connection with everything from a loving place, and that you're now a divine tool to create healing for everybody in your experience by default, because you're listening to your inner child, you're honoring your truth. You're not being an asshole, you're not being straight up nasty and rude, you're just being honest, right? From a heartfelt place. People can take it how they want to take it. They can react how they want to react. But the fact of the matter is, you understand your peace, and that the divine is literally able to use you in a way that is harmonious for the collective. And it says with our work your light oracle, we have age of light and transformation. Right, again, this transformation word, and we were talking about butterflies, and they're all over this picture. I don't know if you can see all the little yellow butterflies in there, right? It's really transforming and being the butterfly maybe ahead of the curve, okay? You've been training for this for lifetimes, the age of light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And if you notice the upward pointing triangle that is the backdrop for her, the upward pointing triangle is masculine energy within the self. Action. Action. Courage. That's what it is, okay? That's what it is. Transformation. Things are changing at a cellular level. Deep healing. Deep healing. When we heal, like when you go into YouTube, you can look up DNA repair, meditations and things like that with solfeggio frequencies. The whole world is going through major deep inner work. We're changing our belief systems. We're rewiring things at a cellular level. It's like rewiring your brain, right? It's rewiring your brain to think a certain way. If you think about, you know, cells and cellular level stuff, I mean, just axons and neurons and all this shit firing in your mind. You know what I mean? Like, it's a cellular level. This is about healing how we think. Healing our beliefs that might be detrimental to us and keeping us trapped in these toxic cycles. Oh, well, I'm not meant to, or they should, or they should. Well, that is ego out the wazoo, right? It's healing those things in the mind. So if you got purple balloons and you resonated to this code name, just know that the divine is giving you full permission to love who you are. It is giving you full permission to be who you know you are meant to be with full confidence, knowing that even if you don't know how it's going to turn out or why it's significant, it always, the divine always explains itself in hindsight. Always explains itself in hindsight. So I hope that helps. This is a Be Yourself reading in a nutshell, confirmed with 6 decks. Okay, confirmed with 6 decks. Be yourself. Don't be afraid, and don't get hung up on, you know, societal whatever, or things that you were taught as a kid about relationships, or, you know, whatever. So yeah, I hope that helps. Moving forward, codename Blackbird. Codename Blackbird is next, and that will be at, we'll say, the 27-minute mark. All right, codename Blackbird. Let me just make sure that card is like really random in there. All right. Codename Blackbird. What is the focus of the healing, please, Spirit? For codename Blackbird and those who would resonate to that codename. Oh, yeah. All right. Let me make sure those cards are in there really good. What card above all other cards, Spirit, please? Codename Blackbird and those who would resonate to it. What card above all other cards? Archetype cards. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit? Ooh. Remember deck. Universe has your back deck. We'll get to the Remember deck in a minute. Universe has your back deck for codename Blackbird and those who would resonate to its message. All right, we got 2. Oh, I love it. All right, Remember deck. Oh, that was way too many. Although, peacefulness flashed out at me. All right, so we'll see if it comes back out. What card above all other cards, Spirit, please? The codename Blackbird. Those who would resonate to it. Oh, I love it. That's my favorite card. That's my favorite card. It's my favorite fucking word. All right. Get these in there. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit? For codename Blackbird. Here we go. All right. Yes. So we start the reading with the throat chakra and will. Okay. Will. The keywords are expression, assertiveness, self-control, and direction. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want, right? That's just a song that popped into my head from the fucking Spice Girls. You know, if you really, really want something, you got to say it, right? If you want something done, you got to do it. It's not going to get done if you don't do it, right? You have to make the effort towards what it is that you want, what you desire, right? Having the will to actually create your dreams, even if it's a slow process, because no matter how long it takes this turtle to get across the desert, he will get to where he's going because he's taking one step at a time, and he's willing to get to the end result. He's willing to get to whatever finish line he's moving towards, whatever oasis out there he's heard about. He wants it, right? So he's taking one step at a time. It doesn't matter how long it takes him to get there. He's just doing it, right? He's just doing it. It's almost reminding me, because the deserts are waterless, and waterless is an emotion that, or an element that's linked to emotion and love energy. So it's like, if you have to go without love of others from a while because you know you're heading towards the greatest love of all, right? The greatest vision, the greatest dream, where there's plenty of water and there's plenty of beauty around you. It's like, can you sustain long enough to just focus on what it is you want and not get distracted by the mirage? Right? Not get distracted by the mirage. You've got to be really willing to set your sight on something very specific that you know and sense is real, and move towards it and express that outright, not just in your words, but in your actions. So that people understand you're not going to be distracted by the illusion, right, of what it is that you don't want. Well, it looks similar, and it's really close, but it's not actually what I want, and it's not real, right? So be aware of that. Be aware of that. Getting into card number 41. This is Almathea. Almathea. Here we go. It says, okay. Your soul is learning about love. Whether you fully realize it or not, you're breaking free from a pattern of relationship that has not been respectful enough of you and your heart. This includes the relationships you have with yourself, with others, be they friends, romantic connections, colleagues, or strangers and family, and even your relationship with the universe. As you allow yourself to feel worthy and release feelings of hate, shame, guilt, or judgment towards yourself, a new spirit of gentleness, love, and devotion will fill your heart and transform the quality of your connections with others and the universe. A beautiful new world of love is opening up for you. All right. This is, it's almost like, okay, I'll give you an example. It's like, I want to lose weight, right? This is a great example because we all hate ourselves when we're out of shape and we don't feel our best and we're not, doing our hair, our makeup, and we're just sitting around like a bum forever, right? And we're feeling really down and out about ourselves, but we don't actually take the time to fix it. We don't actually take the time to go to the gym or go for a walk or do any kind of exercise or correct our diet, right? Our habits, our eating patterns that are not serving the idea of wanting to lose weight, right? As an example, your hair's not going to get done if you don't do it. Your makeup's not going to get done if you don't do it, right? So why are you hating on yourself when you could just simply do it? Change it. Well, I've always been this way. Well, but you've always wanted to be different. So where's the willpower? Where's the one step at a time, and I'll get there? Because no one loses weight overnight. No one does. You have to take the steps. You have to be consistent. You have to be consistent in the direction that you're taking, and it will always yield results. Okay? There's always a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you don't have the will, you have no way. You have no way. So you're learning how to love yourself more, not feel guilty for things. Because the reason why you feel guilty for doing whatever is because you know it ain't in alignment with you. If you don't feel guilty, it's because you're in alignment. And if you're feeling guilty for something, it's because it's out of alignment with the will to reach your dream. So don't do it to yourself, right? Archetype cards. Child wounded. All right, child wounded is the archetypal card. Anytime we have anything that starts with child at the top, it is an inner issue. Okay, it's an inner issue, and this is why we're doing the Heal Yourself readings. The shadow is blaming all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds and resisting moving on through forgiveness. You're blaming everything on your past, blaming everything on other people, blaming everything on your childhood or your upbringing. Well, if I had a better this, or if I had a better that, or, if I wasn't taught this, or if I wasn't taught that, or in my young adulthood, well, I reacted this way because of that person taught me this, and I didn't want to be like them, and, whatever else. You're blaming a lot of your current problems on your past and not taking ownership in your present, that you are fully responsible for yourself and your choices. You're responsible for all of them. Your beliefs about yourself, you are responsible for all of them. Okay. The light attribute awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children and opens the learning path of forgiveness. Like, you really do got to be able to forgive your parents, forgive your ex-best friends, forgive your ex-boyfriends or ex-partners or ex-jobs, or, whoever. You got to be able to forgive the person who you didn't like in school, who made you feel like shit about yourself, who told you weren't beautiful, or told you were fucking ugly, whatever. You have to be able to forgive these people, because they were all hurt people trying to heal themselves and feel better about themselves by hurting someone else in some way. Proving their importance, proving that they matter, that their word matters or their opinion matters, because they don't feel like they matter. And they were projecting that out for the longest time, and it built who you are today because you took it personal. Well, if they're saying this about me, it must be true. And they're not the only one that said it about me. Someone else did too. It must be true. Well, fuck, 100 people can call you fucking ugly. And it might be true. You might not be the most attractive person in the world, right? But does that mean you're an ugly person? No. You're only ugly if you're an asshole to yourself. You're only ugly if you're putting yourself down and reiterating that broken, recording that everybody else played for you. You could feel beautiful. You can do your hair and you can do your makeup and be like, you know what, I might not be the most beautiful person in the world, but I sure as shit feel a hell of a lot more beautiful when I take care of myself. I sure as shit feel a hell of a lot more beautiful when I'm eating right and my skin's clear. Or I lost 10 pounds and I could fit in that pair of jeans. Help other people not take things personal, right? Learn to love yourself. This is a big deal, because your past can only affect you as long as you let it. This is sacral chakra healing too, okay? And Blackbird, if you think about it, Blackbirds like crows and ravens and stuff like that deal a lot with ancestors. So you have a lot of higher support, especially like this card reminds me of like a mother and children or sisterhood, right? Or even a grandmom. It's about really understanding that there's people in this world that love you and have your back and think you're beautiful even if others don't, right? As a person and what you have to offer. And anybody can say, well, this is your past and we're going to nail you to it. That's your cross to bear now because you were that way for 20 years. Bitch, I ain't that way now. I don't care what you heard about me, knew about me, experienced it with me. That's who I was when I didn't love and respect myself or appreciate myself or have the will to better myself. And now I do. So guess what? I have no tolerance. I have no tolerance anymore for that kind of treatment of myself. And to be completely fair, you shouldn't be tolerating anybody else's opinions of you either. And if you want to change, you should be allowed to do that. And have no one hang you on the cross that you made years ago. If you want to be a better person or a different person, you can. And you don't have to put me down for trying or doing it. Right? Teach them. My capacity to tune in to the energy of love gives me the words I need when I'm ready to speak up, the compassion I need when it's time to forgive, and the power I need when I am lost. Hold space for yourself. Hold space for yourself. Tune into that energy of love that reminds you that you are divinely perfect in your healing process and that you're growing perfectly. that you're allowed to change and you can be anything you want. You can do that. And when you need to speak up for yourself, just taking a deep breath and say, Archangel Gabriel, I know you're with me, right? Even in your mind, Archangel Gabriel, I know you're with me. Give me fucking strength right now because I'm about to speak some shit. I'm about to open up my fucking mouth and I don't know if they're going to like it or receive it well, but it needs to be said, right? You just tune into the energy of love because love and truth are synonymous. Love and honor are synonymous, right? So hold compassion for yourself and forgive whoever it is that would put you down or peg you to be anything that you're not. That's integrity. We'll get there in a second. Because when I lean on faith, the universe, when I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. When I lean on the faith of the universe, peace becomes real. Because anybody that's meant to be in your reality is meant to be in your reality, and anybody that isn't, isn't. And you just got to trust in faith. Trust and faith in your integrity, right? Demonstrating the truth of your soul, the truth and honesty of your soul, and manifesting it with your every action. Manifest the truth and integrity of your soul with your every action. Which is 4114 on the timer, so 4114. I love numbers, right? This is about beginning from a stable place within the self. This is about closing old chapters, right? Because if you think about 4114, it adds up to a 10, which is a completion cycle, and 4s are about stability. 1s is about new beginning. The 1-1 in the middle is about self-mastery and having your angels guide you on both sides. Numbers, right? Master yourself. Know that you're surrounded by angels, because anybody that would put you down as your angel, they're helping you solidify. They're helping you solidify your integrity of self, so that you don't go into old patterns of belief about yourself. They're helping you stay real solid and stable in who you know you are. That you do trust in the integrity of the divine. And they are your angels. Even if they're dickheads and they don't realize it at the time, right? Zimrama is, where are you being called to journey to? And it's funny because this card is all about a journey, right? Willpower on the journey. And this one's all water. And this one's all desert. So where are you headed? Here. Here. You're headed here. And it's gorgeous. It's this whole entire lake with crystals and rocks and a huge temple of the universe. It's beautiful. That's where you're headed. You're not going to just any old oasis, you know what I mean? You're not going to just any old oasis. You're going to the crystal fucking temple of self, where you are divine and beautiful and love who you are. And you have plenty of support. So whatever this is from your past that you're still blaming it on, well, you know, that was me for the last 10 or 15 years, and I don't know if I really want to do this or that. Yes, you fucking do. Who are you kidding? Of course you do. Get in touch with your integrity, right? Get in touch with your integrity. So I hope that helps. Be very assertive. Exhibit self-control. Choose your direction and head there. And don't get distracted by the mirage. Don't get distracted by the mirage, the illusions. You stay true to you. You are not who you used to be. You might still look like the person you used to be on the outer, but that's just because your outer hasn't caught up to your inner yet. Don't get discouraged in the inner because the outer hasn't caught up yet. You just got to keep moving forward. And know this is where you're heading. You're getting out of that fucking desert where you don't love yourself and it's not being reciprocated back from other people. You're moving forward from that. Okay, you're moving forward from that. Keynotes, if you're not just seeing 1s and 4s, which are definitely here on the cards because we got 41. We also got card number 3, and 143 is I love you. So if you're seeing 143 or combinations of those numbers like 341 or whatever, just know that is the divine reminding you and screaming at you with numbers to love yourself. To love yourself more. Because the divine loves you. That's you in your greater consciousness showing you a synchronicity that says, I love you. Remember to say it to yourself. I love you. The divine is saying, I love you, because they want you to repeat it to yourself. Okay? I hope it helps. Moving forward to code name Yellow Dahlias. Code name Yellow Dahlias. So if that is not your code name, but you resonate to it, there is most likely a message in here for you. And we're going to start it at the 45-minute mark. How many seconds? We'll do 22 seconds. So 0, 4, 5, 2, 2. All right, here we go. Chakra Insight Oracle card. Code name Yellow Dahlias. Code name Yellow Dahlias. They're beautiful flowers, by the way. Dahlias are gorgeous. Okay. What is the focus, please, Spirit? For code name Yellow Dahlias and those who would resonate to this message. What is the focus and the healing? For secret code name Yellow Dahlias. We're totally taking that one. Of course, it's yellow. Solar plexus chakra. All right. So here we go. What card above all other cards, Spirit, from our Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle? Whoa. Hey, soul sister. Totally the card. All right, archetype cards. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit? Ooh, Queen. I like. What universe has your back deck card for Yellow Dahlias and those who would resonate to this code name? All right, this one flipped up. We're taking it. Okay, we're taking all of them. We've got a lot so far. Remember deck. And work your inner light oracle. Work your light oracle. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit? Code name Yellow Dahlias. And those who would resonate to it. Okay. Oh, this one's flipped up too. Okay. So healing yourself today with all these readings, trust me when I tell you, the key word is confidence. Let me get this card back up here. All right. Starting with the solar plexus chakra and self-esteem. Okay. Keywords are confidence, self-love, self-worth, and pride. Remember deck also has self-love on it. Okay. So big keyword is self-love. Drop that one there. Solar plexus work and self-esteem. Please take pride in who you are. I'm not talking about being prideful and arrogant, that it has to be your way and whatever. I'm talking about having pride with yourself, that you carry yourself a certain way, that you talk to people a certain way, that you respect people a certain way even when they give you none. Right? Self-esteem is knowing that you are being your best and putting your best foot forward, and nobody can take that from you or dim it. Because we got that card down here too. Don't dim to fit in. We've got this huge bright sunlight, right? My fearless freedom lights up the world. This is a big deal. This is a big deal. Again, fearless, right? The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Have faith in who you are. Don't knock yourself or cast shade on yourself because someone's casting shade at you. Don't do it. Be confident in who you are. You're like, listen, if that person doesn't have enough pride or with how they carry themselves or how they talk to people, that they would come off like a pompous ass, like seriously, you need to know that the love you put out is good enough. You have to love yourself. You have to know that the love you have put out prior and now and moving forward is enough. The love you've put out that people have experienced with you was enough. Love who you are. If you have given your absolute fucking best energy to someone and they are currently non-responsive, that's okay. Doesn't mean the who you are or the love you gave was not enough. The love you gave was perfect. This is divine confirmation for you that the love you gave was perfect. Have confidence in yourself. Do not doubt yourself. Self-esteem. Do not doubt yourself. Your sunflower. Do not doubt your shine. Don't doubt yourself. Love who you are and know it is more than enough. It's more than enough. We've been taught so many times over the years, oh, it's not enough, it's not good enough. You got a B+ on that paper, it's not A worthy, it's not enough. You did a great fucking job. Don't let somebody else grade you. You grade yourself. Like, you know what? I deserve a fucking A with myself. I don't care if that person gives me a B. I know I'm A worthy. I put more effort into that paper than what's his face who got an A. Maybe that person who got an A plagiarized it, wasn't even fucking honest, and there wasn't a single opinion of his own in there. And he didn't care. All he wanted was the A. And he fooled somebody. But you know the effort you put in. Right? It's an example. It's knowing that when you put your best forward, you've put your best forward and it fucking matters to the right people. It will always matter to the right people. The right people will always reflect on that effort. They will always reflect on you loving yourself enough to go for whatever it was. Because you have a responsibility to it. You have a responsibility to it. To loving yourself. To not doubting yourself. Right? Being fearless. Being fearless. This is not about being arrogant. Right? The shadow of the queen. Becoming arrogant when authority is challenged or controlling and demanding. This is not about being arrogant that you're better than someone else. Or you love someone more than someone else. Or you treat them better than someone else. That's for someone else to recognize. All you need to know is you love who you are and you gave your fucking best. And if they can't see it now, they will see it later. They will see it later. If you're meant to be with someone, you'll see it later. They'll see you later. They'll recognize you later. They might have to deal with a couple pages, right? A couple jokers or a couple facaded people, right? Who are trying to be a queen, but they're not. They're acting like they're a fucking queen, but they're being arrogant and demanding certain things from someone. Fix this. Make me feel better about that. Tell me I'm this. Tell me I'm that because I don't believe it. Tell me I'm beautiful because I don't believe it, right? Where you're just like, I know I'm fucking beautiful inside and out, and I know I'm my best version, and you don't need that validation from anybody. You know what I mean? Don't be arrogant. It's not about that. It's about just knowing who you are and that you were genuine. And nobody had to prove anything. Not even you. It was just natural. 2 hearts, 1 soul, right? Sisterhood, 2 hearts, 1 soul. So we all have divine feminine aspects within the self. It's 2 heart spaces connecting right there. I'm going to get into that card in a minute. The light attribute of this is radiating the regal feminine, using your benevolent authority to protect others. You staying in your self-love. You staying in your self-love. Realizing that love of self is necessary to love another. You've got to be able to go 100% for yourself. You've got to be able to go for your dreams. You've got to be able to say, I can do this. I can accomplish this. I can keep focusing on this direction that I feel guided to be in or on or moving towards, and I can create whatever it is that I want to create because I know I am good enough, and I don't doubt myself. I don't know all of the answers. I just know what I feel, and I'm going to keep following that. And everything does typically work out, right? It always does. It always does. So let's get into this, right? Let's get into this. Card number 38. It says you're being emotionally and psychologically influenced by the people around you more than you realize. And when I say around you, it could just be in your mind. It doesn't have to be actual people around you. Okay. Being emotionally and psychologically influenced by the people around you more than you realize. Sometimes this is good. They uplift and inspire you and help you feel loved and loving. However, sometimes you can sense that being truly yourself in a situation could result in unwanted conflict, and you undermine yourself to keep the peace. You'll find that the moment you stop doing this, sometimes difficulties you've been having in moving forward will fall away almost as if by magic. The relationships worth holding on to can handle a little more truth. Even if feathers get ruffled before being smoothed over with love once more. If you're loving truth, let's just say you're connected heart to heart to someone, right? Let's just say these aren't necessarily two women, but they're two heart spaces. Let's just say they're connected, two hearts, one soul, right? Two hearts, one soul. This is your bond between you and someone else. And let's just say they're in a situation where there's other people affecting the dynamic, right? There's third-party situations. Let's take it to this example. Maybe there's third-party situations, and maybe you haven't spoken to them in a long time because they chose to be with someone else. But the truth in your heart knows you fucking love this person and you have a connection that's unexplainable. You might not say anything to that person trying to keep the peace because, well, they already chose someone else. But maybe the truth is, hey, I love myself enough to recognize the responsibility that I have to me to let you know that my feelings didn't go anywhere. And I still love you regardless. And you're free to do whatever it is that you're doing. If you really want to be with that person, that's fine. I'm not going to interfere and stop you. But I needed to make sure that you knew that I loved you. You know what I mean? Like, I need you to know that I don't hold it against you and that I still feel us or whatever. I still feel that connection. You know, letting them know where you're at, especially if you had blocks on your side prior, right? If there was, you know, the third party was the other way around, right? However it resonates for you. Just know that if you're handling your shit, you got to move confidently forward and know that the love you gave was enough, and then you have a responsibility to yourself to make sure that that person knows it. You're not doing it to be vindictive. You're not doing it to interfere. You're not doing it to, you know, give people ultimatums. You're just doing it as a matter of fact. This is where I'm at. This is how I feel. I wanted you to know. You could take it for a grain of salt. You can ignore it. Doesn't matter. I needed you to know the truth because I can't sleep right at night knowing or thinking that you could be assuming something different. Fearless freedom lights up the world. Fearless freedom. Right? Have confidence in yourself. Confidence is a key word. The more energy and intention I bring to my faith, the more fearless and free I am. Because if you fucking know, you have faith and you fucking know, it's okay if other people are uncomfortable. Maybe it's very uncomfortable for the person to receive that message because now all of a sudden the falsity they were telling themselves in their mind is being crashed and crumbled away. And now they have a decision to make. Do I want to stay on the path I'm on? Is it really fulfilling? Or is this connection that I had with someone else really fucking worth it? Because they are my queen. Right? In every moment, the universe is conspiring to bring me toward right-minded thinking and the energy of love. All the time. Just this message in and of itself. The universe is conspiring in your favor. It picked every card. I didn't pick them. The universe picked every card for this message. You have permission. You're not intruding. You're not interfering. You're not crossing lines. You're not causing problems for someone else. Because if you're not honest with yourself, if you're not fearlessly moving forward in what you have the most faith in, what is aligned with you, then the wars, the disturbance of the peace is within yourself. And you're the one that has to sleep with you at the end of the night. And at the end of the day, those other people who are affected by it are like, oh, my whole world is crumbling down. Maybe their whole world was meant to crumble down because they needed to heal. Maybe that relationship was temporary, right? Whatever it was, the lesson had to be learned, and you got to move forward. You got to move on, because sometimes love is fucking real. Love can't be forced. Love can't be forced. If someone is trying, because you might be dealing with someone who is in the shadow, right? It might not be you. It could be someone else that's in the shadow that you're feeling and being affected by. And if that's the case, because they're controlling and demanding and blah, 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 it's not a healthy dynamic. Like I said, you can't force love. Love is real. It's a very real thing. It's a very natural thing. It doesn't just go away. Okay? And you got to get really real with yourself, because you have a responsibility to love yourself enough to go for your dreams and not put yourself down or tell yourself you're an interference for loving yourself and being real and honest with you. Because the worst that could happen is what? You're wrong? I doubt it. If you're that fearless moving forward, I doubt you're wrong. And you need to stop doubting that you're wrong, right? Stop doubting that you're wrong. Don't dim yourself to fit in with everybody else. Well, I don't want to be a home wrecker, or I don't want to be, the reason why this happens or that happens. It's not your fault. It's not your fault you met someone and absolutely fell in love with them, and vice versa, right? It's not your fault that somebody had healing to go through or felt responsible or obligated to somebody else. It's not your fault. All you know is the truth and your light. So you just stick to that. No expectations, just truth, right? No expectations, just truth, and trust. Whatever is meant to be will come about and meant to be, because you're going through an awakening. This is energetic upgrades, a new way of being. This is integrating your light element. This is integrating your self-loving light. This is rising, quite literally rising. Age of light. Stepping into your own masculine power and taking action. Because you've been training for this for lifetimes. Whoever it is that you're connecting to, you've been training for this for lifetimes. To get out of these cycles of not loving yourself enough or feeling deserving enough that you would have to put other people first. Why would you put somebody else first, that other person or that third party? Why would you put how they feel first when you're the one that's feeling the suffering? You're the one that's feeling the suffering, not knowing and wondering if they still care, they still feel the same way, or if they can't get out of their mind too, and maybe you're in a better position, and maybe they can do it too, and they can get themselves in a better position, and people will understand in hindsight, and they'll be thankful in hindsight, appreciative in hindsight for what you did, because maybe you saved them 10 years of a relationship they really didn't want to fucking continue in, but they felt obligated to. And nobody wanted to be the asshole, or nobody wanted to be the villain, and so everybody just sat and suffered. Well, what the fuck good is that for anybody? Am I right? You gotta be fearless. You gotta be fearless and trust that the universe is conspiring in your favor, and it'll always take you in the right direction. Don't doubt your truth. Do not doubt your heart. Do not doubt yourself, not for 1 minute. And just because something doesn't work out right away doesn't mean it doesn't need time, so be patient. Trust yourself beyond a doubt, and do not sway from the truth your soul knows. If something was beyond explanation, and there's no reason that you can possibly come up with to explain why you feel so connected to somebody and you just fucking love them, and there's no reason why you could ever change it, it's because it was always meant to be, and it's real. And the only person stopping it from happening at this point is between you and you. Right, because you're the one getting this message, being asked to step up into your power, asked to be confident, asked to be fearless, 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 confidence. It's all here. Don't dim yourself. Don't dim yourself for anybody else. Don't suffer for anybody else. You don't owe anybody anything. You owe yourself the best love there is to experience in this life, right? Whatever that is for you, however it resonates for you. You owe yourself to live the best, and everybody else you come in contact with that mindset is going to get that ripple. And they're going to live their best life whether they realize it or not, and they're going to thank you later. In here or outright, they're going to thank you later. Happiness is contagious. Confidence is contagious. Fearlessness is contagious. Self-love is contagious. Healing is contagious, no different than pain and bullshit. So ripple something beautiful. Ripple something beautiful. Don't ripple fear. Don't ripple shame. Don't ripple guilt. Ripple fucking confidence. Ripple fucking confidence. And it's a beautiful thing. Give me some water. So Yellow Dahlias codename, I hope that helped. We are now moving into Feel the Rush. Codename Feel the Rush. We're going to start at the 1:05:35 minute mark. 1:05:35. All right. You know what? I feel like I need a cigarette after that. At least I got my Enjoy, right? All right. I'm doing good, guys. So, what is it, Spirit, please? For codename Feel the Rush, and those who would resonate to this message, who would be drawn to this codename, what is the focus on in the healing? For codename Feel the Rush. Deep breath, release the anxiety. Let your tongue drop off the roof of your mouth and drop your shoulders. Relax your forehead. Don't be nervous. Here we go. First card. Third eye chakra. What card above all other cards, Spirit? For codename Feel the Rush. We'll take them. Archetype cards. What card above all other cards? That's too many. Give me, I'll take one or two. Don't give me that many. Come on. He's up. There we go. So I'm already like an hour in and I've got like six more after this. We'll see. I want to try and get them all in one live. What is the universe has your back card? Spirit, please. Ooh, I like that. Okay. Universe has your back card. Remember card. From our Power of Love deck. And Work Your Light Oracle. What card above all other cards, please, for codename Feel the Rush and those who would resonate to this message? Sup, beautiful star seed. You beautiful star seed, you. Okay, so we have card number 37 and we have 44 and 40, so you might definitely be getting a lot of 444s and 3s and 7s or 10s, right? Completion numbers, ascending and divine intervention with the 3 and the 7, ascension and divine intervention or divine miracle, right? 4s are all about stability and your angels in heaven as they are on earth, because we've got Earth, Goddess, and Gaia as your cards from the Inner Goddess Oracle. All right, we also have Night that came out for you, and I'll get into the other cards in just a bit. So starting with seeing in the third eye chakra, if you can do third eye chakra meditations or pineal gland activation meditations as you go to sleep, you might be you will 9 times out of 10, I'm almost positive you'll get some really interesting dreams to dissect, right? Because dreams are not always just literal, they're metaphoric, and you can also do like timeline jumping and things like that. But I think what the point of this card, I mean, the keywords are perspective, truth, knowledge, and clarity. Knowing what you see in your mind's eye is possible, because if you can't see it, It's not possible. It's not your highest good path. It's not meant to manifest. If you can visualize it and you can see it and you can daydream about it, it's because that's what's possible. That's what's possible. Whether it's good or bad. If it's something that you're seeing and you can visualize and you're like, oh my God, that's going to be fucking terrible, then you are being given the gift of foresight that you can make choices to avoid those scenarios from happening with your own choices and actions, right? Because if we just don't do anything and we know that's how it's going to go, well, that's how it's going to go. But you can make a choice and choose to react different, or choose to say something different, or choose to be somewhere different, right? You have all these different choices that you can make, and you could see how it's going to turn out. And sometimes it doesn't always turn out the way exactly that you see it. But if the dream goal is this very specific vision, you got to trust that the universe is going to take you there, right? The keywords on these cards are love who you are and shine on. Love who you are and shine on. I'm going to give you an example. Okay. I'm going to give you an example. My ex-husband, good person, right? Good person. I could not actually see myself growing old with him. Not when I met him, not when I married him. I couldn't see myself growing old with him. And even though he's a good person and he does his own thing and I'm a good person and I do my own thing, like, we weren't meant to be together and we ended up getting divorced, right? So if you can see something, it's probably because it is meant to be that way. Because if you can't see something, it's not meant to be that way. And you can continue down that path and you can go for it anyway and say, well, what if, maybe if, blah, blah, blah. But the answer is you couldn't see it. You couldn't see it. So if you can't see it, it's not meant to be. And if you can, then it is, okay? It just might not happen the way you anticipated, right? As an example. So getting into the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle, let's get to cards 44 and 40. And I'm going to read them in that order, 44 and then 40. That's how they wanted to come out. So, love who you are. Here we go. I got to hold it up with this because it's about living the dream, right? To live the dream, we have to surrender the fantasy, okay? This can be painful. It feels like the end when in fact it is the beginning. It's like the fantasy of wanting to be married and have it work out when you really can't see it happening, right? It's getting rid of the fantasy. The fantasy might be, oh, it'll never fucking happen, but all you can see in your mind is that it's happening, and it's what you want, but the fantasy is that, oh, it's not possible. Nah, it's not true. Well, that's the fantasy, right? So to live the dream, we have to surrender the fantasy. This can be painful. It feels like the end when in fact it is the beginning. Once the pain passes, there is a joy of what we have yearned for coming to life. It may not be as perfect as the fantasy, but it will be real and it can nourish you. We can build our appetite for life with dreams, but we cannot be fed by them. The soul requires real life experience to become fully alive, to have experiences grow. There's a fantasy that wants to become reality for you. Don't let a few gritty moments or human imperfections prevent you from experiencing the joy of heaven on earth. Be able to create what you see. If you fantasize about something really beautiful and being able to take this action or being able to say these words, well, you might not be able to actually show up at that location in this time, but you might actually be able to say those words. And maybe you'll be able to show up at that location at another time or through other means. Maybe somebody else who you're speaking to will make it possible, right? So it didn't happen exactly how you thought, but the fact of the matter is you were shown enough. You visualized enough to get you in that direction, right? Have your dreams come to life. Have your dreams come to life. Doesn't matter how they do it. Just matters that it's moving there, right? Create what you see. Create what you see, because if what you see and visualize, like I'm going to say this, if you let's just say you visualize yourself on an island somewhere taking a vacation and you can see it and it feels so good. oh, it'll never happen. The fantasy is it'll never happen, or maybe I'll never be on the beach with that person or whatever, and enjoying the sunset and a cocktail or whatever. And the fact of the matter is, yeah, but you might have to actually talk to this person. You might actually have to express truth to them about something. You might actually have to book a flight. You know what I mean? You might actually have to have that discussion that you want to go on a vacation with that person at some point down the road, and it can manifest. Who said that reality can't manifest? Who said that dream can't manifest? Right? Because if you're taking actions towards it and you're speaking towards it, you know, and you believe it and you feel it, it's right in your heart space. You can visualize it. You can see it. There's a reason. There's a reason why we can and can't see certain things happening. There's a reason. Okay? Gaia. It's the right time, or soon will be, for things to come together for you. If there's something that you really believe in, but have been waiting a long time to bring to life or to see succeed, here's the good news that something is beginning to stir, and at the right time, things are going to fall into place. There is a bigger question of divine timing about these matters, and it is not that you are or are not doing something right. Do not give up, but do give in to the wise timing of the Mother Earth, who knows how to grow all souls and all things into perfect fullness of divine expression. Allow the steps to be taken towards your dream. Allow yourself to see it. Not just the long-term vision, but what you can do in this moment. And there was a time when I had challenged people to write a list, write a goal list. This is the big goal, right? You have a piece of paper and you have the big goal at the top of the paper. This is the big dream right there. As impossible as it sounds, that is the big dream. Okay? That's what you want to create. That's the big dream. So then under that, in order for that dream to manifest, what technically has to happen first? What makes sense? Well, in order for me to achieve this would definitely have to happen before that. Okay, and before that can happen, right underneath of that, what has to happen in order for that to transpire? What step would need to be taken in order to have that step realized? All right, so before I get to the dream, I'd have to do this, and before that, I'd have to do this, and keep going down, keep writing whatever step comes under it until you get all the way down to a step you could do right now. So you get all the way down to a step that you can do right now, and then cross it off. And now just focus on the next step. Allow yourself to see the path. And it's okay if you have to add in another step somewhere because you missed it in the original list. Wow, I thought I only had to do this before I got there, but apparently I have to do this too. So let me squeeze that in there, and I'll start checking them off so I can get to that next step. Because eventually, if you keep taking each of those steps and you keep crossing one off, because every time you hit a step, you prepare yourself for the next one. You were prepared. You can't cook dinner unless the kitchen's clean. The kitchen's not clean if you don't do the dishes, right? So you do the dishes first, you clean the kitchen, and then you're able to cook whatever meal you want to cook. Right? So you start with your steps at the bottom to what you could do right now all the way up to the big dream, because the fact of the matter is, if you keep crossing them off, what's going to happen is you're going to hit your dream. You're going to hit your dream. You're going to hit the goal, and you're going to be able to cross it out. Achieved. Achieved. Goal, dream, achieved. Because I knew what I had to do and just focused on one step at a time and didn't get all crazy or worked up or overwhelmed because there was 100 steps between here and there, because I just focused on the one in front of me. And I got there. And I got there. And in the meantime, the universe is working everything else in your favor in the background. Honor how you want to feel. Honor how you want to feel. If you want to feel good, make sure that as you start checking off that list, it feels damn good, right? It feels damn good to check off that list. You can have multiple dreams, multiple goals. You can have relationship goals. You can have career goals. You can have school goals. You can have friendship goals. You can have family goals. You can have whatever kind of goals you want. Everybody's goals are different. Everybody's dreams are different. Honor how you want to feel. And every time you check, and everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to feel happy. Well, doesn't it feel really fucking good to check off a list, heading towards a dream, knowing that you're making progress, even if it's little by little? Feels dang good. Honor it. Honor it. Take the time to do that for yourself. All right, the Knight card, allegiance to a destructive ruler or principle or romantic delusions, right, is the shadow. It's the shadow. So that's either something you're dealing with within that's reflecting in the outer. Okay. The example I gave earlier when this card came out was, well, they're the guy. They should message me first. If they're interested, they should be the one to tell me this, or they should be the one to make this move, or whatever. Well, they owe me an apology. Well, maybe I need to apologize to them for something. And you're like, okay, well, I'll apologize if they do. And if they don't, fuck it. Yeah, but it doesn't sit right in your soul to know that there's something you need to apologize for. So it doesn't even fucking matter if they apologize or not. Honor how you want to feel. You want to feel better because you know there's something you did that you could apologize for and you didn't. Clear your conscience. It's on them if they don't want to clear theirs, but you can clear yours, right? Honor how you want to feel. Have loyalty, romance, chivalry, and a love of honor for yourself. That's the light attribute. Loyalty, romance, chivalry, and love of honor is the light. Honor how you want to feel. Honor is reiterated twice with these cards. The planning of your soul path, the unveiling of it, the unveiling, right? Third eye, the unveiling, seeing the path. You allow yourself to see it because you wrote it on a piece of paper. It's not just in your mind in a long, faraway dream. It's a staircase. You're giving yourself the staircase. Do that for yourself. Because you're a light seed. That's a star seed. Did I say light seed? Star seed. That's the card right here. You were meant to awaken the world. What lights you up? What lights you up? Your authenticity lights you up. Your dreams light you up. Your goals light you up. Loving yourself lights you up. Feeling good about what you did lights you up. Because it feels good. It feels good to offer an apology even if someone owes you one. And they don't say it, oh fucking well, you offered it to them. It feels good. You're honoring yourself. Doesn't matter if someone's earned it or deserved it. You deserve not to have it on you. You deserve not to take it to bed at night or have it sit on your subconscious mind and play in the background that you're projecting at other people because there's now a hurt part of yourself that doesn't want to repeat it with other people. And so maybe you're keeping people at arm's length or keeping a distance or not letting them close to you because you're afraid you're going to be put in that situation. And it's subconscious levels, right? Third eye is subconscious levels. Be really well aware, right? Clear your conscious. Remember, cause and effect. The law of cause and effect. It's a universal law for a reason. Okay. You are aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change and the foundation of your results. We're talking about a foundation. The first step that you can do right now. You put love out there. You put loyalty to self out there. You put self-honor out there, and that shit ripples. Cause and effect. It ripples. If you deny yourself, you're going to get more of that. If you're putting pain on yourself and swallowing things down, you're going to get more of that. Cause and effect. Know what you're manifesting. Honor yourself. Honor your light. And continue to do that. Right? Honor how you want to feel. Super important. Super important. I hope that helps. Definitely see what you can pull from your dream state experience by doing third eye activations or pineal gland activations, meditations, okay? If you resonated to that code name, Feel the Rush. Because I think like once you do kind of set yourself in line and give yourself the staircase that you can visualize the actual manifestation of your goals, even if it gets a little tweaked along the way, even if you have to add a little bit here or there, maybe you don't realize you have to take a step you thought you had to take, you know what I mean, because you did this and now all of a sudden somebody else took care of that step for you and you're like, oh, thank you, because now by crossing off this one, I actually got to cross off the next step too. That's fucking awesome. Now I have one less step than I thought I had to take. Because I was rippling. And someone thought it was awesome that I was in my best vibe and they decided to help me out. Fuck yeah. You know, life's little surprises because you're honoring how you want to feel. You're honoring what you want to experience. And that's a big deal. That's a big deal. The universe loves that shit. Universe loves that shit. When you honor yourself, something that seemed 10 years so far away, or maybe I'll have to wait a year, maybe I'll have to wait a decade. No, that you might be waiting a month. When you click into place, when you click into your energy, the universe moves at a rapid rate. A rapid rate. Fast. It'll so fast it can make your head spin, and before you know it, you're like, holy shit, I'm living my dream. Holy shit. I'm living my dream. I mean, if you think about it, like if you go back in stories like with Eminem and Dr. Dre and shit like that, Dr. Dre just heard him one night. He just walked in somewhere and heard him. And all of a sudden, Eminem went from being a nobody in Detroit or whatever to being like one of the highest selling rappers of all time. You know what I mean? Like he's up there. He's world renowned famous. And it just happened. And he thought he would have to go through all these steps. He would have to send out this and send out that and be there and be that and compete with this and compete with that. And really there was no competition. The divine just had it happen. The divine works super fucking fast when you're aligned. It just does. So trust. Just do what you need to do for yourself in this moment. Even if the first step is writing that fucking step list. Just do it. Just do it. Because I guarantee you, as soon as you align yourself with that, the universe is going to be like, all right, game on. Game on, right? It's game on. It is time. It is time. This person's aligned. They're projecting their path. They're projecting their goals, and they're taking steps towards it. And you know what? Maybe we won't have them take all 100 steps. Maybe they really only have to take 10. Maybe everything else will just fall right into place for them. You don't know until you start stepping down that golden road, right? You just don't know. So I hope that helps. I really do. I hope that helps. Getting into the next reading, we are doing Lightning on the Water. All right, codename Lightning on the Water. We're going to start at the 1 hour. If my pen doesn't want to die on me. 1 hour and 27 minute mark. Oh, come on, pen. There we go. All right. Getting into it. Codename Lightning on the Water. Lightning on the... Ooh, and that came right out. The focus is on money. The focus is on money. Sacral chakra healing. Sacral chakra healing is the womb and the creativity element within the self that we all have, that you can manifest your desires, right? Desire is where the sacral chakra is, and this is surrounding money. So this is knowing you can accomplish what you want in your career, knowing the amount of money you make is okay for whoever it is that you want to be with or you're aspiring to be with, right? Whatever soul partner that is best aligned with you. The universe is focusing on your ability to be creative and get yourself stable financially. All right, what is the Love Yourself or the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle cards? What card above all other cards, Spirit, please, for code name Lightning on the Water, and those who would resonate to it. Oh. Looks like lightning through her hair. Damselfly brings direction. All right, archetypal energies. Spirit, please, for Lightning on the Water. Got 2. Universe has your back, deck. Codename Lightning on the Water, and those who would resonate to this message. Okay, they're also healing your relationship with money. I'm looking at some of these cards. They're healing your relationship with money, too. Someone might feel like if they don't have money, they're not attractive or they're not wanted. So they're healing that. All right, I got a chunk that fell, but we got one that came out, so we're going to take that. Yeah. This is someone who is placing the value of themselves on the amount of money they have. And they think if they don't have it, they're not lovable, or they can't keep someone that they love with them. Okay. That's too many. Give me one more, Spirit. From Work Your Light Oracle. Okay. Okay. Finances, power, generosity, and abundance. This could also be someone who's healing, trying to be flashy. All right, trying to be flashy. I really do get this sensing that they're trying to attract people that make them feel powerful because of the way they spend money. Which never works out, because if you attract someone because of your money and the money goes away, you lose that person. Because that person was only with you for the money. And so it's almost like asking to heal your self-worth, right? This is about self-worth. You're worth more than a temporary relationship that is based on money. What you can provide, what you can give. And that goes for women too, because there's women out there that will spoil the shit out of a man. And once they can't spoil them anymore, or they're not showing up for them anymore, the man doesn't call them anymore. You know, it's not just with men and women, because, you know, men all want, you know, these beautiful, you know, whatever women and all this, you know, they have their own money and shit. And then, you know, they're treating them and they're buying rounds for everybody and they're showing off their money. And as soon as they have no fucking money, no one's interested, because they think their worth is dependent on their money. And they're going to keep going through that cycle of having money, not having money, having the people they want, not having the people they want or think they want. The people that matter are going to stick around whether you have money or not. The people that love you and think you're beautiful and lovable are going to stick around whether you have money or not. Right? But this person's healing that idea. This person's healing this idea that they are only lovable if they have a certain amount of money, and they can only attain the kind of friends or the kind of partner that they want with money. And so they're focusing on the wrong things. And anybody going down this road, I'm telling you right now, you can manifest $1 million. You can manifest a mansion. You can manifest a beautiful, shiny sports car and drive all around. And I guarantee you the universe will fucking hit you over the head with the fuck you stick and humble you to learn that lesson. You will lose everybody in your life that was loving your flashy money, so that you can learn who the real people that love you are. The real people that stick around, right? Because we're not here to make money. We're here to love ourselves and learn as a collective, right? Consciousness. Money is just a tool. It's a teaching tool for some of the lessons that we go through. So this is definitely a lesson for someone. And that's what they're going through. Okay, that's what they're going through. Lightning on the water. I mean, if you think about water being a code name, that I got that visualization, and it's lightning, it's like, boom, epiphany is about love. You don't have to buy love. You don't have to prove your worth with money, right? You can create beautiful relationships and not have it based on something outside of yourself. You can create beautiful relationships based on the beautifulness that is within yourself. Right? Because the beauty in yourself doesn't change like your financial status does, right? The beauty in yourself is what it is. And so that's what they're learning. They're learning that the beauty within themselves is enough, and they don't need to be extra or do extra. And if they are going to be and do for anything and spoil anybody and give generously or gregariously to anybody, it's the people that fucking matter. The people that aren't asking for it, but that truly appreciate it when it's offered, right? Because some people might not even go out with you unless you're spending $100 or $200 on a dinner. And another person just might be really happy to sit at home and do takeout with you, so that they didn't have to cook that night. There's two different kinds of people in the world, right? People who value you based on your money, and people that just value you based on your time and who you are, right? The beauty of yourself. So Damselfly brings direction. Card number 6, and this was card number 14. Okay, so 14 and 6. Here we go. It says, you may not see it coming, but a major change within you or in your life is headed your way. You will be able to handle it with more skill and grace than you may have believed possible. Do what it takes to keep yourself feeling positive and happy more often than not. We all have our ups and downs, but if you are feeling not happy with something in your life, know that you have the power to change it. Even if a radical change would be required to bring you happiness, you've got the power to do it. Have faith. Damselfly knows how to rise from emotional confusion into clear vision. She is a master of changing direction, even radically with certainty. She's not afraid to change. Goes through dramatic transformations in her life, and her own spirit medicine helps your soul to embrace the new reality of change too. You're outgrowing the old ways and are in preparation for a very new and different way of living. It's not always comfortable. It can feel unfamiliar at first, but it is a wonderful sign that your soul is growing. Right. This really is, because I'm just getting it super, super clear. This is someone who bases their worth on money, and they try and keep people with money that aren't in alignment with them, and they're just being used. Right. This is someone who's just being used and really needing to step into their light and change that old way. Well, why do people keep using me? Why do I always spend all this money on certain people, and they don't actually give a shit about me, and they don't actually call me up and invite me out? Or every time they invite me out, I'm always the first one to buy the round of drinks, and not everybody always buys a round to match me. Why do I keep getting used? Why is nobody valuing me? This is the epiphany, aha, lightning moment that someone's getting. They're manifesting that experience over and over and over and over and over again because they don't know how to deem themselves worthy of actual relationship. They think everything is based on the amount of earnings and everything that they put out for other people. It's like buying relationships and buying friendships and not realizing that's what they're doing and wondering why it doesn't work out. Okay. And we got mentor and we got prince. Inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false instruction and using power for self-aggrandizement. That's exactly what I was just saying. Someone who is using money as power for their own personal agendas, thinking they're teaching other people their worth, when really they're the student learning their worth. They're trying to teach other people their worth. See, I'm special. See, I matter. See, I show up. See, I provide. See my value. See my value. They don't know their own value. That's the truth. They don't know their own value, and they don't know how to do that. And that's what they're learning. And the universe is going to come in and change that really quickly. With the energy I'm picking up on, it's going to come in like lightning. It's going to come in really quickly. Okay? The light attributes are passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Refining the student, right? Understanding that they are the student and taking on this wisdom from someone who's trying to teach them or showcase to them, hey, you're going about this all wrong. You shouldn't have to buy friendships. You shouldn't have to buy relationships. You shouldn't be worried that if your money goes away or your car goes away or your house goes away that you're going to be loved or not. You're romantic, you're charming, you have all this potential for powerful relationships, and you're depriving yourself, right? The light attribute of Prince. Romantic charm and potential for power. You have all this potential to be charming and romantic and not put yourself on display, not put yourself in competition with anybody else. You could just be the best in your own life and you don't have to compete. Because the other thing about money is if you don't have as much as somebody else will outspend you and steal your friends. They'll steal your woman or they'll steal your man. Because they've got more, and that person was only with you because they only gave a shit about money to begin with. And now your money's not enough because someone else has more. Now you're doubly not good enough. Now you've got to make more money, and you've got to perform more, and you got to spend more. You put yourself in a fucking hole. What, for someone to outspend you? For someone to be a bigger show-off? The universe is fixing this. Okay, the universe is fixing this. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Right? Student, teacher. The universe is teaching. The universe is teaching because we are all students. We are all students. You think about your parents, right? Maybe, just maybe, your mother fell for your father because your father had money. More money than anybody else she had ever dated. She got pregnant. Now her money's not going anywhere. And now that the father's, right, the father's finances are tied up in her because he's afraid of losing money because of child support if he wants to go anywhere else. He's afraid of paying alimony. So they stay together because of money. But was there ever really love there? Right? Or was there ever really love there? I know from my own personal experience, my mom used to tell stories about how my dad was the first person, not from South Philly. He was the first person that had a steady job. He had money. He had a beat car, but he had money. She sealed it. She sealed that fate, right? She didn't just have one kid, she had 4. You know? Not saying that my mother didn't love him, but there was a fear over money there. That she would never find it again. You know what I mean? There's all kinds of shit that comes out of fear and money. You will end up in a karmic relationship with someone you don't want to be in forever. And they're going to be sucking off your money for as long as you let them. Right? So it's like, really pay attention to who it is that you're trying to impress. Because you might be trying to impress the wrong person who doesn't love you for the right reasons. When I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will always be guided back to the light. Because if you don't love yourself and you think your value is based on money, you're going to manifest a hell of an experience. You're going to manifest a hell of an experience. It's going to be really shitty to get out of it. Just like a financial hole is really shitty to try and get out of, right? So the Remember card is action. You have the courage to express the unique and loving colors of your soul. You have the ability to express the unique and loving colors of your soul. You can be flashy if you want to, and it feels good, but not because you're expecting anything. Not because someone has to return it or tell you how amazing you are or thank you more than once. Because maybe their thank you wasn't sincere the first time. So you want to hear it again, just to make sure they really did appreciate it. You have the courage to express the unique and loving colors of your soul. Who are you trying to impress? By being more than what you are. By being a color that you're not. Maybe it is very black and white. Maybe that is the colors of your soul. Maybe the colors of your soul is very black and white. Why are you trying to be red or trying to be blue or trying to be yellow and trying to be green? Because that person likes yellow and that person likes green. Just be black and white and let the people that love you and appreciate you for your black and whiteness fucking resonate to you. Don't be something that you're not. Don't come off like you're this or you're that when you're not. Who are you kidding? It's all coming together. Okay, we got the great gathering. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. They're getting pings. If you're getting this message and you're resonating to it, just know the universe is pinging the shit out of them. When I tell you it's about to come in lightning fast, it's about to come in lightning fast. The universe is going to give someone a big wake-up call with this new moon in Aries energy. Okay? Big wake-up call. It's all coming together. They are going to realize who's their soul tribe and who's not. Because the Remember card is respect. It's respect. They're going to be drawn to who respects themselves and who respects them and their time and their money and their heart space. They're going to be drawn to someone who respects them as soon as they realize they got to respect themselves more. Value everyone's unique perspective on the path to love. Some people, money is the most valuable thing in the world, but when you put money as the value of the most important thing in the world and it doesn't feel good, well, then you have to respect the fact that it doesn't feel good to think that way for you. Maybe their perspective works for them. Maybe it's working for them now and it's not going to work for them later. You've got to respect the way you feel about it. If it doesn't feel good to spend a bunch of money on people who are not giving a shit about you or reciprocating it or genuinely appreciating you for it, what are you doing? Show yourself some more respect. You deserve better friends than that. You deserve better partnerships than that. You deserve better experiences than that, than to go home and wonder if they're going to call you and just ask you how you're feeling. Hey, I was just thinking of you. I hope you're feeling all right. I guarantee you the people you're blowing money on, they're not texting you and calling you and asking you if you feel all right. How you been? Hey, we're going out. Do you want to come? Yeah, when you get there, you blow all kinds of fucking money. But they don't give a shit about you otherwise. They're not commenting on your Facebook status that your cat is sick and you had to take him to the vet. And now you're broke because of a vet bill. They're not asking you if you and your cat are okay. You know what I mean? They're just like, oh, well, I guess they don't have any money. We're not going to invite them out this weekend. And then you see all the pictures of them out this weekend and you're like, hey, how come you guys didn't invite me? Oh, well, we saw how, you were at the vet and, you were complaining about how expensive it was and how you were broke. So we just didn't bother. Okay, so you saw my status about how I was upset and my cat's been sick, but you couldn't invite me out or ask me how my cat was or how I'm doing. You know what I mean? It's starting to register. Whoever this is, it's starting to register. You're realizing that some people just don't genuinely give a shit about you. And it's unfortunate, but somebody needed to fucking tell you, and I guess it's me today. You know what I mean? If this is the code name that you resonated to, there's a divine fucking reason why you were drawn to lightning on the water. Because some people just don't fucking appreciate you, and you deserve to be appreciated. You deserve to be respected. They're not respecting you. And you shouldn't take that from anybody just because it's what you were taught or what you've been dealing with for X amount of years or with X amount of experiences with people. Somebody needs to tell you. It ain't right to be treated that way. If you're going to give a shit about other people, you need to start giving a shit about yourself. Straight up. Right? No sugarcoating with Divine Rebel. No sugarcoating. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps because you can't buy real. You can't buy real. You can't buy people that care. People that care either care or they don't. And you can't make them care by spending more money or doing more for them, right? Because it's not always about money. It's doing more for them. So, moving forward, we're doing Cosmic Egg. And we're at the 1 hour and 47.5 mark. So 147 and 30 seconds. All right. Cosmic Egg. Code name Cosmic Egg, and those who would resonate to this message, to this code name. Here we go. Here we go. Code name Cosmic Egg. Spirit, what card above all other cards for Cosmic Egg? What is the focus and the healing in those who would resonate to this message? Ooh, there it is. Heart chakra. And connection. Ooh, I feel a ripple coming on. All right, Spirit, what card above all other cards from our Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle? All right. Free Spirit, Gypsy, and Good Witch. And you know what? I'm going to take all three just because the numbers, we got 22, which is a master builder, and then we got 3 and 13. So we're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. Here we go. Archetype cards. Spirit, please, for Cosmic Egg. What archetypal energy? Hermit. Goddess, Liberator. All right, Spirit. If we're not going to have me on here for 6 hours, I need one card, please, from the Universe Has Your Back deck. One card, please, from the universe has your back deck for codename Cosmic Egg. And those who would resonate to this message. How about that? Came right back out. All right. Power of Love deck. Here we go. And Work Your Light Oracle. Oh. All right. I love spirit. Yeah. All right. Okay. You're on a mission, honey. You are on a fucking mission, all right? To heal yourself, you are on a greater, higher mission. With these kinds of cards, let me tell you, starting with the heart chakra and connection, this is understanding just how big your ripple is. Okay, you might not see or you might not understand or get to witness exactly how much you affect other people or how much they benefit from knowing you, right? From being around your light, your genuine core. Okay, this is you having a genuine core. You don't have a bad bone in your body. You couldn't lie if you wanted to. You selflessly give because you can't see somebody else be without, right? You can't let someone who's lovable go a day without feeling that love from someone or somewhere, right? Constantly giving. It's the energy that I'm getting. The keywords are universal oneness, love, support, and interconnection. You got to understand how important it is that you're doing what you're doing for others. Whether it's just one individual person or a close group of people, or if it's just in general, right? Because you got to interact with a stranger, and maybe that stranger in the supermarket that you helped out or said a kind word to or smiled at, maybe nobody smiled at them for the last fucking year and a half. Maybe someone has felt like they don't matter for their entire lifetime, and you're making it a point to make sure that they know they matter to you. Even if you are putting things in your life on hold because you couldn't sit right with you knowing that you weren't doing something for someone who matters to you. And you don't know how much it matters right now. But it matters a whole hell of a lot more than you realize. Let this be your divine confirmation. You are a powerful, powerful piece of the consciousness. And you're healing your heart chakra. Love who you are and all that you're doing, and you're not sacrificing your heart. You're letting it shine. Right? You're letting it shine really big. And everybody that you help, everybody that you touch in some which way, shape, or form is benefiting in the long run. And every time that you stand up for yourself and you're like, you know what, this doesn't feel good anymore, or it's too much on me, it's draining my energy, I need to find a better balance, right? I need to find a better balance. I can't just selflessly give all the time. I need to make sure they're taking this into consideration and that into consideration. Or if this changed in this way, I'd feel much better about the kind of selfless energy that I'm giving, because at least I'm being considered in this way now. Now I feel better about it. Now it's not a burden on me, or now it's not weighing heavy on my consciousness, or I'm feeling like they don't appreciate it, you know, because I got to express this about whatever I was feeling, right? And knowing that that also ripples, because you're reminding somebody, hey, it's okay that you're being loved, right? It feels good to be loved, that I'm loving you, but you also need to return it, right? Because I don't technically have to do anything that I'm doing. I'm not obligated because you're family. I'm not obligated because you're my close friends. I'm not obligated because you're my employer, right? I'm not obligated to do shit. I do it, all of it, because it matters to me and I want to. But it doesn't mean that I want to be taken advantage of or taken for granted or feel unappreciated, right? So you express it. You express it in a way that is kind, right? You express that. From your heart space. Now with these cards, right, Free Spirit, Good Witch, and Gypsy, I'm just going to read little quick snippets from each of them. This is card number 22, 13, and 3. Free Spirit. The card itself says Free Spirit real big. Okay. It says, when we have an active imagination, we can forget to use it for dreams and instead let it create nightmares. There's something that you've been worrying about, and there's no need to torment yourself. Let go of any thoughts, attitudes, or beliefs that are based in fear, because they're not helping you, necessary, or accurate. Everything has a positive and loving purpose, even if we cannot see or know what it is straight away. You'll find a loving solution comes easily to you and at the perfect time, as you choose to avoid fearful thinking. Let yourself be free to feel positive about your future and know that everything is going to be okay. Sometimes you do got to really voice that, this is not okay to treat me this way. It's not okay to not acknowledge me this way. It's not okay to respect me or value me or reciprocate in this way. Love is not a one-way street. Love is not a one-way street. We are all connected, and there's many streets, okay? And they're all two ways. Because one-way streets don't work. That's not love. That's codependency. We all deserve to be loved. So, free spirit, whatever you got to do, you got to do. Don't create a nightmare, right? When we have an active imagination, we can forget to use it for dreams and instead let it create nightmares. You got to let yourself know, like, if you keep going forward, you can't be afraid to love yourself and express it, because if you keep going forward and you don't say anything or address it, you're going to sleep with these nightmare thoughts like, you got to do it all again tomorrow. You got to do it all again next week. You're like, God, I don't want to. I keep doing it over and over again, and you create this nightmare of a life every fucking day doing the same shit. Because you're not voicing your own self-love and expressing that and teaching people how to better connect with you. How to better show love for you, for all that you're doing, right? Love is a two-way street. Love is a very two-way street. All right, Good Witch. Her crown says, create your own magic. Tea time and joy. Tea time and joy. Okay. It says, it's time to use your words. Speak up for what you want. If someone is saying negative things about you, or you are thinking negative thoughts about yourself or anyone else, don't believe them and don't sink to that level by lashing out. Instead, speak the goodness of beautiful truth that you want to affirm right now. Use the positive power of your words, thoughts, and intentions to override and replace the meanness, the fear, the hate, the jealousy of anyone else at all. The goodness in you is more powerful than the badness in anyone or anything else. The goodness in you is more powerful. The goodness in you is more powerful. Gypsy. Card number 3. Blame my gypsy soul. Here we go. You are encouraged to say yes to new opportunities and adventures, ideas and connections, especially the ones that fill your heart with a sense of excitement. Perhaps just before your mind begins to dwell on doubts and concerns and trying to talk you out of something before you give it a chance to happen. You can handle the unfamiliar better than most. And once you get your bearings, you'll find a way to thrive, to enjoy what you discover and experience. Let the yearning of your soul to explore the new and exciting inspire you. The unfamiliar and the unknown hold great blessings for you. Open yourself up to new horizons. Connect with new people. Give yourself time to connect with more people that nourish you, that appreciate your spirit, that appreciate your heart, that appreciate your energy being around them. Recognize your value. And if someone's not appreciating your value, you don't have to keep trying to prove it to them. You can't force the blind to see. You can only go hang out with people that aren't blind to what you're bringing to the table. Because you'll never prove to a blind man what your beauty is on the outside. You're never going to prove it. You can only prove to a blind person what your value is in their life from the beauty within yourself. Right? So if you're dealing with the blind, you're trying to convince them you're beautiful and they're just not seeing it. then they're not seeing the actual beauty that you have within, and maybe you just need to let that go for now. Maybe that person or that connection that you had that was not reciprocating or becoming toxic for your own energy to think about or deal with needs to be let go of, and they need to realize that they weren't reciprocative. They weren't appreciative. They weren't honest with you or with themselves over something. Maybe they were blaming you or telling you you weren't good enough when they knew you fucking were. They just didn't want you to go anywhere, and they wanted you to try harder. Because at least that means you're around more. And you don't go anywhere, and you still take care of them. So be kind to yourself. Let other people step up if they need to step up, and let people that need to miss you. Okay? Because the only life you're obligated to is your own. The only joy you're obligated to in this life is your own. The only happiness you're obligated to create is your own. The only love that you deserve to manifest and experience and hold value in is your own. Don't put other people before yourself. Don't suffer in silence so that somebody else can milk your worth and not appreciate you for it. Because it's in actions. Anybody could say thank you, and anybody could say I'm sorry. But it takes a hell of a strong person to step up and fucking show it. Real talk. Okay. Hermit, Goddess, and Liberator. The shadow attributes. Withdrawing from society out of fear or negative judgments of others, and refusing to help those in need, because you know that ties into needing solitude and intently focusing on your inner life and your personal creativity. Okay, which is the light attribute of the Hermit. Don't separate yourself from society and get wrapped up in something that's toxic, where you're in solitude from the outer experience, because this was talking about, you know, connecting to new people, you know, free spirit and all that stuff. Was talking about really getting into new people and new environments and making new connections, right? Your gypsy spirit, allowing yourself to make new connections and manifest from your own magic, right? Creating your own magic is important. Make sure you're not isolating yourself from actual real connection because you're trying to prove your worth too much to other connections that aren't, like I said, that are blind and they're just not seeing it. Refusing to help those in need. It's not people that need you physically or people that need, you know, whatever. It's other people might need to be loved. And you're capable of it, like real genuine love, right? Because you have that sacred core that you can't deny. You have that sacred core that you can't deny. And maybe there's somebody out there who's taking a risk and stepping back out into the scene, trying to connect with people after a long period of doing their own solitude, and maybe you're meant to cross paths, right? Maybe you're that person's goddess, and you don't need to exploit yourself or give yourself up or, you know, physically, you know, perform, right? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to be anything. You can express your beautiful femininity through your own wisdom and your divine nature of self and your own life force, the fact that your energy is sensual. You don't have to be sexual, right? Because the right person that you run into, they're going to want to get to know you. They're going to sense your heart space, and they're going to want to get to seriously know you. And if they stop talking to you because you won't physically be with them, which is the shadow of the goddess, the shadow attribute is having your feminine nature, your female body, or your female form exploited, and allowing that exploitation of it. Remember to value yourself and don't put yourself in cycles. And maybe that's secretly why you're not going out. Maybe you're busying yourself with people that can't reciprocate that energy to you because you're afraid that if you were to go out and meet somebody, you'd end up in the same scenario where you have to put out. No, you don't have to put out. And the right person isn't going to ask you to put out either. So remember that. And we got Liberator, imposing your own tyranny over those you claim to liberate, ignoring legitimate constraints. You're not allowing, some someone that you're giving your energy to, that you're saying, well, I'm helping them, I'm liberating them, they wouldn't be with any, this or that without me, and I have to do it, and blah, blah, blah. You're imposing a certain amount of control by putting it on yourself when it doesn't feel good and it's not resonating with you, and you're doing it anyway. So this is egoic control. You're locking yourself in a cycle. And you might think that they're the ones that are, controlling you, and in fact, it's you controlling your own self by staying in it. Okay, so the light attribute is freeing yourself and others from outmoded beliefs and releasing negative thought patterns, releasing negative cycles. Because if it's not helping, it's not helping, right? It's not helping, it's not helping. If you don't feel good, it doesn't feel good. And if they're constantly like, rah, 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 all the time, like, well, they don't feel good either. Why are you putting yourself around them all the time if you don't have to? And even if you feel you have to, that might be something you need to liberate yourself from. Maybe you don't have to do all that you are doing. Maybe you've done plenty, and there's other people you need to connect with now that need your light more. Maybe it's you. Maybe you need your light more, and you need to go meet other lights that feed your light and fan your flames instead of trying to put you out. Seriously. I'm dropping cards all over the place. All right, here we go. Yeah, so when I accept the love of the universe as my primary teacher, I will be guided back to the light. Allow the universe to teach you. If it doesn't feel good, you're not meant to be doing it. You're meant to change the conditions. Because it's within your control. It's within your control. Because to be completely fair, if you decide to up and wash your hands of something and be like, I'm sorry, I'm out, I can't do anything anymore. I brought myself to such a breaking point that I can't do shit anymore. Where if I said something a couple months ago, maybe we could have negotiated and I could have done this or I could have done that or met you halfway here. But because I didn't say shit and now it's gotten to such a big breaking point, now I don't want to do anything. You know what I mean? It's like, you choose. Okay, you choose what you feel and where you end up. You can voice things now. You can express things now. Because like I said, if you just washed your hands and said, I'm done with it, you got yourself to that breaking point, everybody's going to have to figure out their problems. Everybody's going to have to figure out their own solutions. All right, well, they're not doing it anymore. My beautiful cosmic egg, right? Codename cosmic egg. They're not doing it anymore. I guess I have a bunch of problems I need solutions to. And it doesn't have to get to that point. It doesn't. It might if you express yourself and somebody else is just completely dismissive. And at that point, you'd be like, okay, I'm really washing my hands of this because I've tried to talk to you over and over and over again and it just wasn't fucking registering, was it? You weren't taking me seriously. You kept trying to use me or push me or take advantage of me or take me for granted in some which way, shape, or form, no matter how much I told you I didn't like it, that I wasn't feeling right about it, that I was getting tired of it. You kept doing it anyway. Well, now I'm fucking gone. Don't tell me you weren't warned. Don't tell me I said nothing to you. I told you I'm tired and I can't keep doing this shit. I can't keep draining my energy. I gotta go connect with people who actually fucking fill me up. Stop tiring me out. I gotta go connect with other lights. You gotta free yourself, right? Free spirit, good witch, gypsy. Create, manifest magic. Free yourself. Cause and effect is your remember card. You're aware that the love you create in your thoughts is an agent of change in the foundation is the foundation of your results. It's the love in your thoughts that creates the foundation of your results. Well, if you don't have love in your thoughts and you have pain in your thoughts or regret in your thoughts or I'm being used in my thoughts or I'm tired in my thoughts or they're so draining every time I deal with them in my thoughts, then what are you manifesting? What are you manifesting? Heal yourself, right? Heal yourself. We have Lemuria and get grounded. So creating heaven on earth, it's happening. Empaths, highly sensitives, and connect with nature. Get back in touch with your roots. Your core soul roots. Get back in touch with yourself. You might be extremely empathic and seriously care a lot about people. And you know they're deserving of love. And you know they're deserving of care. But God damn it, not at the expense of yourself. Or you're going to end up just like them in old age. Or just like them wherever they are in their life. Have some fucking compassion for yourself. Birth something beautiful into reality. Let that inner child come out. Let your soul be free. It is not your responsibility to fix anybody else's feelings except your own first. Liberate yourself. Create your heaven on earth. Create it with the connections that you're forming. Being highly empathic and highly sensitive is not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing because you know how to get in touch with people when they can't get in touch with themselves. But it is not your job to fix them. It is your job to fix you and ripple that to them so that they can learn from you what it's like to love themselves. Well, she loves herself this way and she's happier. Or he loves himself this way and he's happier than I am. Well, shit, maybe I should start loving myself like that. Maybe I should start being honest. Maybe I should start, acknowledging my own worth. Maybe I'll change my life on my own. And I won't feel the need to pull them in and drag them into my shit to do it. So, I hope that helps. I hope that really helps because, honest to God, somebody needs to give you permission to get the fuck out and not deal with something anymore. Not the way you were. Not the way you were. It's like taking a butterfly and putting it in a jar and asking it to live and be happy in the jar. Is the butterfly going to live and be beautiful and happy in the jar? No. It'll die in that fucking jar. So allow yourself to be beautiful. Allow yourself to be free. Allow yourself to transform your thoughts. Allow yourself to create and manifest better with your own inner magic. Create with your own inner magic. Crown yourself the goddess of your life. Amen. Right? Do that inner work. Don't keep yourself shut off from the world by dealing with things in order to avoid others. Like, do the inner work so that you can get out there and be like, you know what? Just because someone puts pressure on me for this doesn't mean I have to give in. Doesn't mean I have to feel uncomfortable about saying fuck no and fuck off. If I'm having a really good conversation with a guy and he wants to buy me a drink, I can say, no, thank you. I buy my own. I appreciate it, but thank you. Oh, you don't want me to buy you a drink? No, because anytime a guy buys me a drink, they expect me to go home and sleep with them, and I don't like feeling obligated to that, so I buy my own drinks. Thank you. I've said it. I know I've done it. Guys have tried to buy me a drink or buy me whatever. I'm like, no, thank you. I got my own. Oh, you're going to be like that? Yeah, I am, because guys think they could buy my body with money. You want to buy a body with money, go pick up a hoe. Go pick up a prostitute. You know what I mean? Go get a hooker. I'm not one of them. Sorry. You're not going to buy me a drink and think you can actually ask to take me home and sleep with me. You know what I mean? Like, don't feel like you can't liberate yourself. If you go back out into the world and start, doing whatever, don't avoid it because you think, well, people might act this way or people might act that way. Yeah, they might. And you have a reaction for it. You have a self-loving reaction for it. And you're going to connect with everybody you ripple to. Like, nope, you can't use me. No, you can't take me for a fucking fool. No, you can't play me. No, you can't cheapen me. You can't cheapen me. Right? Liberate yourself. Do that inner work and know you are fucking powerful as shit. You are powerful as shit. You give yourself and your time and your energy to who the fuck you want. Cause and effect. The universe will manifest you better. Because I guarantee you that guy that you shot down and you told him the damn good reason why, he'll be like, you know what? I can respect that. Because you know what guys do. And you know what, in the back of his mind, maybe that's what he was thinking. And he just got called on his shit. And he just learned that not all women are fucking hoes. And not all women can be taken home because they were bought a drink. No, thank you. I'm not them. I respect myself more. Right? I honor myself differently. Period. Hope that helps. All right. Moving on to Fast Car Boulevard. Fast Car Boulevard. We are at the 2 hour and 14 minute mark. Come on, pen. What the hell? 214. All right. Oh, I just realized that's Valentine's Day. That is good. I got orange mango juice. Keeping my vitamin C up. Okay. Sorry. 214. We're going on Fast Car Boulevard. So codename Fast Car Boulevard are those who resonated to it. Okay. Spirit, what is the main focus of the energy? Whoa. Desire. Sacral chakra. Love your inner goddess oracle cards. What card above all other cards, Spirit, please? The Fast Car Boulevard. And those who would resonate to this message. Oh, I like that. All right, archetype cards, Spirit, please. What card above all others for Fast Car Boulevard? Ooh, they popped out and flew right in my hand, so we're going to take them. We've got some repeat cards, guys. I'm just telling you outright. Within the readings, like in general. There's definitely common themes. What card above all other cards? Universe has your back. Fast Card Boulevard. And those who would resonate to it. Remember deck. That was easy. Action. And Work Your Light Oracle. Well, I just heard when I saw that card, Fleetwood Mac, the chain, because it's called Break the Chain. But that was the immediate thought I had, so you might want to look up The Chain by Fleetwood Mac as a song. Okay, so here we go. We got a lot of cards. The start is the sacral chakra, okay, and desire. The keywords are goals, passion, craving, and fulfillment. Goals, passion, craving, and fulfillment. Whatever your desire is to create, right? Because sacral chakra is all about creation energy. Whatever it is that you desire to create, you have to be able to reach out to touch it. Reach out to experience it. Take whatever actions you need to take, right? Take whatever actions you need to take to maintain your vibe. To maintain your vibe. Okay, because what action you might be guided to take might not necessarily make sense on how it's going to manifest your goal. It's a matter of alignment. It's a matter of alignment. If you were to sit and think about your biggest desire, right? Your deepest desire, what you want to experience and what that visualization looks like, it feels really good. Like you can actually feel your heart start to spin, you know, like your heart chakra start to spin, and you can actually feel your body like reacting to the idea of actually having your dream, right? Having your desire. It feels really good. So if that's the feeling, right, the actual feeling that's in alignment with that process of what you desire, if you're taking actions or not taking actions, and it's causing a feeling that is not the same as that feeling when you're visualizing your desire, then you're not manifesting your desire with whatever that is, because they're on two different vibes. One's a high vibe and one's a low vibe. You can't manifest high vibe experiences from a low vibe state. So if you're constantly living in a reality that you don't actually experience that vibration short of actually visualizing it, then you need to start doing things and taking actions or getting in touch with people or connecting with certain situations or others that feel good and align with that feel good vibration. Because it doesn't matter if they connect the two. It just matters that the vibe itself, the feeling you get, is the same. Because you might be fantasizing about your dream partner, and you might be fantasizing about your dream house and your dream car, and it feels really good to picture all that stuff. And Now you want to go to the supermarket and go get dinner ready. Well, it feels really good to knock that off your list, to make sure that you went to the supermarket and now you have dinner for tonight and next, the rest of the week and whatever, and it feels really good. How dinner is aligned with your dream doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if one relates directly to the other. Your vibe's the same. If you know you got to do laundry and you keep putting it off and now you're wearing clothes you never fucking wear, or you're taking something out of the hamper that's not really dirty but it's a little wrinkly now, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel good. It would feel a hell of a lot better to have your wash done and to have all your clothes put away so they're not sitting on your bed or thrown over a chair or sitting clean in the hamper, just, on top of each other. You know what I mean? It would feel really good to actually have them done and all put away and have your room clean and organized, and you can just get up tomorrow and do your thing and you're in a fresh space. It feels good. So when you align yourself with feel good things and you keep your vibe high, you're manifesting that dream reality, whether you realize it or not, by default, because you're staying in alignment with the feeling of what you desire. You're staying in alignment of the feeling of what you desire. And so your desire will manifest by default because you're in alignment with it. That's how it works. That's how the law of attraction works. You don't have to know how it's possible. That's the universe's job. You just have to know it makes sense and that the law of attraction is a universal law, and it's no joke. The universe will bring you fucking miracles by staying in alignment and not wavering, not allowing your vibe to go down, not wavering, not submitting to doing something that doesn't feel good or settling for something that's not in alignment. If something's not making your heart skip a beat, and your best dreams, the person of your highest good fantasies, your heart stops every time you see them because they just take your breath away. Well, why the fuck would you settle for someone who doesn't do that? That's not aligned with your dream, right? Stay in the vibe. Stay in the vibe, and you will manifest exactly that. That's how it works. Bright destiny. Here we go. Right, 12 and 14 are the 2 card numbers. So let's whip this out. It says above her head, it says, just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. Huh. Just when the caterpillar thought the world was over, it became a butterfly. Card number 14. Here we go. It says, it's okay to feel unclear or even confused about what is happening in your life or within you at this time. It's like that because you're going through soul growth. Things will become clear in time. For now, however, let the process happen. Fear can make us try to force something that isn't quite ready yet. Don't try to impose a meaning, take action, or understand it all prematurely. Don't think so hard. When it is time for you to act, you'll know it. It will feel right. It's okay to relax and trust that the moment of clarity will come to you when the time is right. It'll feel good. It'll be the universe giving you that ping, like, you know what, just go for it. Just go for it. I know it's unknown, but you know what, something's telling me to just go for it. Just do it. Just show up. Just be there. I don't know why. I just feel like I should be there. I don't actually know a fucking soul there other than this person, and I've never been to this place before, but you know what, something's telling me to go. And you're going to be glad you did. And you're going to be glad you did because something about it feels right. Something about it feels in alignment. You don't know why, you don't know how, but it's the universe asking you to take an action as you're guided, right? You don't have to plan everything out. You don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to try and impose any agenda or whatever. You just have to follow what feels right. If it doesn't feel right to answer your phone when you see so-and-so calling and then it's not meant for you to answer, it doesn't feel right to answer it right now. You're not obligated to. They can leave you a voicemail. They could try calling you back. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Trust me. Trust me. And we get the Prince and we get Gambler. Okay, the shadow attributes is using power for self-aggrandizement and relying on luck rather than hard work. Sometimes you really do need to take action in the right direction. Sometimes you're not owed shit. Sometimes you're not owed shit from anybody else. You're not owed anything. You're not entitled. You're not. Don't put yourself up on a pedestal. Humble yourself. Everybody can manifest, and you're not better than anybody else, right? Everybody's the same. Don't use your ability to manifest and attract to an advantage that turns shadowy or dark for others. It's just a warning. Don't go there. Because I don't think you are personally. I know who you are. But don't necessarily rely on luck either. Like if you think a Prince Charming's just going to show up one day because you desire one. I mean, it's possible. They might knock on your door and try and sell you something. It's possible. But if you're relying on dumb luck and you're having this huge vision for yourself of what you want to manifest, and maybe if you're guided to go out on a Friday night, you should. Maybe you should go meet people. Or maybe you should go start that class you wanted to take, like a yoga class or a painting class or whatever on a Sunday. They have wonderful places that, you know, do the whole paint and wine thing. And a bunch of people show up and they get to paint a picture for a few hours and drink wine and laugh and chit chat, and maybe you meet somebody there. Maybe you meet someone there who introduces you to somebody else because they really liked you and they're like, oh my God, my friends would fucking love you. You should meet them, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden you've met a whole new crowd of people. And through that crowd of people, you meet your prince. You know what I mean? But you had to do something first. It's not all luck. It's not luck at all, to be completely fair. It's resonation. It's resonation. So don't be afraid to have the courage to express whatever it is that you want to express from the loving colors of your own soul, right? That's the Remember card. I'm unapologetic. Oh, wow. Desire, right? I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. Be unapologetic about what you desire, and what you will focus on will grow. What you will focus on will grow. It will come to you with open arms. Break the chain. This is healing. This is rewriting your future. Because we all have fate and we all have destiny. And everybody has always been bound to their fate because they didn't understand what they were manifesting. They didn't understand how to align with destiny. That's following what feels good. Trusting. You don't know how it's going to happen. It just does. In any moment, I can surrender to the powerful presence of love. Through prayer, contemplation, and stillness. Be still for just a moment. Do I really want to do this? No, I get that sinking feeling. It's faint, but I get that sinking feeling. No, something's telling me I really don't want to. I don't know why, but something's telling me no. You just listen. Just be still for a moment. If you don't know how to answer someone or you don't know what to do, just pray on it for a sec. Before you go to bed, call on Archangel Uriel and be like, Archangel Uriel, I call you into my being to shine light in the darkness where I can't see, because I'm having a hard time making a decision and I don't know what to do about it, and I need to see what's blocking me out so that I'm not indecisive. Right? Surrender in any moment and just be like, you know what? I don't necessarily know what to do and I need a minute. Can I call you back? Okay, before I give you an answer, can I just finish up what I'm doing because I'm a little distracted right now? Can I just call you back in a few minutes? And just give yourself a few minutes to think. Just give yourself a few minutes to think. It's okay to say no. It's okay to say maybe next time. It's okay to say thank you, but no thank you. It's okay to say I would, but I'm really not interested. It's not my thing. It's okay to say I'm sorry, I'm just really not being guided to do right now. I'm not being guided to do it. I've said that shit to people. Sorry, I'm just not guided to. People have messaged me in PM. People have messaged me in PM because of my line of work. They've messaged me in PM, hey, I was drawn to your energy and blah, 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 you know. And now they want to keep messaging me in PM and messaging me in PM. But I have clients in PMs, and I have soul fam and soul tribes and my team in my PMs. And they're taking up all this time and energy. And I'm like, listen, I'm just not guided to answer you. I appreciate you reaching out to me, and I'm really, truly grateful, but I'm not being guided to continue this conversation with you. I hope that my posts continue to inspire you. I hope that, you know, that continues to ripple, but I'm not being guided to actually continue this conversation. I've straight up said it to people, and I've gotten thank yous. I respect that. I appreciate that. Keep doing what you're doing. More power to you. You know, it was nothing against them personally. I said, it's nothing against you personally. I'm just not being guided to continue this conversation. My energy is being pulled elsewhere. I'm sorry. You're like, no, I respect that. I appreciate that. You know, because I'm just honest. You know, people know I'm busy. So it's like, you know, you got to be able to do the same thing. I'm sorry. I'm just not being guided to go there right now. I have a lot going on, and I'm focused on this, and I'm not being guided to be distracted with this right now. I can't think about that right now. I have other things that I really need to focus on right now. And you break the chain, you break the patterns. You break it, right? So do that. And I hope that helps you understand that you can go after what you want and align yourself with the right vibes and not feel bad. Because everybody's learning, right? Everybody's learning. And if you have the power to do that, and you know what, they can respect it, then maybe if they do that to somebody else, they could be like, you know what, I could do that too. And if someone doesn't respect me for it, then fuck them, right? Then they could figure it out. I guess I didn't need them in my life anyway. Glad I saw their true colors, right? Right? So you can do whatever it is that you need to do and not worry about it, okay? And not worry about it. Trust yourself, because we're not actually ever losing anybody. We're all just learning. No one is ever lost. We're just all learning, okay? We all have a rhyme and a reason to cross each other's paths. We all, you know, are contracted on a soul level to help each other heal, and we do that when we stand up for our own selves and what feels right for us. Okay? Don't doubt yourself. Moving on. We have 3 more code names left. Okay, we have 3 more code names left. I've already done Purple Balloons, Blackbird, Yellow Dahlias, Feel the Rush, Lightning on the Water, Cosmic Egg, and Fast Car Blvd. I have Angel Wings that I'm about to do now. I have Phantom Shadows, and then Crystal Lake. Okay, so those, I have 3 more, and then once they're done, I'm going to make sure, I'm going to go back and add in all the timestamps in the description and the comments for everybody. Alright, so you can kind of go to whatever code name you're drawn to or resonated to. Alright. Angel Wings. Let's get into it. Codename Angel Wings. So for those of you who are drawn to codename Angel Wings, there's probably a message in here for you. Okay, if that codename resonates to you. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your message. What time are we on? We're at 2:32. 2 hours, 32 minutes. We'll do 22 seconds. All right, cool. Angel Wings. What is the focus, Spirit, please, for codename Angel Wings and those who would be resonate or drawn to this message? What is the focus on the healing? Ooh, there it is. Oh, connection. Your ripple, right? This is the ripple. This is the fucking ripple. What is the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle card, please, Spirit? For codename Angel Wings and those who would resonate to this codename message. Whoa. So we had a chunk fall face down. I'm going to put them back in. But we did have one come back up, face up. So we're going to keep that. Okay. Archetype cards. Spirit, please. Okay. Poet. Ooh, we getting real deep. We're getting real deep. Universe has your back, deck. For codename Angel Wings and those who would resonate and be drawn to this message. What does the universe want you to know? I'm a card above all other cards, please, Spirit. Okay, remember deck. Ooh, and there it is. These are flying out. Yeah, love it. And the Work Your Light Oracle. Woo, there it goes. Here we go. Yeah. Yeah. All right, angel wings, listen. Let this be divine confirmation for you that your love and your ripple, when you stand in your truth and the integrity and honor of yourself, that you know where your heart space is when you do shit and you say things, it is making a big difference. Okay, it is making a big difference. You don't always have to be the best with your words, right? You don't always have to be the best with your words with Poet. The intention and design of this entire reading, just looking at these cards, is to help you understand that when you express your soul through symbolic language, which is your actions, that is the best poetry that you can write. Your actions speak louder than your words. That's huge. All right, so heart chakra and connection, right? The focus is universal oneness, love, interconnection, and support. This is knowing that you are connected to everybody, and when you love yourself, that ripples, and you're teaching other people how to do the same thing. You're teaching other people how to treat you. You're teaching other people how to respect you, and those that aren't going to treat you that way or respect you that way, they can go kick rocks somewhere else. Right? They can go kick rocks somewhere else. You're teaching other people how important it is to focus on themselves. Because when they don't focus on themselves, they deal with bullshit. Just like when you weren't focusing on yourself, you were dealing with bullshit, right? And now the bullshit is slowly starting to chip away out of your life, and you're starting to ripple that healing for others to get rid of their own bullshit. All right. Card number 26 and card number 35. So we got double eights, right? Because 26 breaks down to an 8, and so does 35. So double eights. Infinite karmic loops, right? Whether they're positive or negative, you're shifting from one to another. You're going from an old cycle where things were continually toxic into a new cycle where things are continuously healing, right? And feeling good. So let's get into this. Card number 35. On your own terms. And it says on the card, it said she waited for a really long time to be saved until one day she decided to save herself. And it was a really good day. It was a really good day. So it says, you are not the person you once were. You know it. But others might not always be ready to let the old you go so easily. Do not allow yourself to be shoved back into patterns of behavior that are not true to who you are now. You have worked hard to grow and become this new self. Believe that she is more real than the old you ever was, even if she is less familiar to others and maybe even to yourself still at this stage. All that will change, and what is new now will become familiar and easy for you to sustain in the near future. Be stubborn in a good way while you and others around you come to realize that this new you is the real you, and it's beautiful. Don't let other people's negative words or negative actions affect the poetic justice that you bring into the equation. And be really grateful. With this remember card, gratitude says you fully appreciate the invaluable lessons that life lovingly presents to you. You're realizing that you are being used as a divine tool, right, for the collective consciousness at this point for your ripple. Be really grateful that you are connected to who you are connected to, that allows your ripple to shine, that allows your intention to shine, even when the words aren't there, right? Even if you have a hard time with them, that's okay, because you're exhibiting this gratitude that you're connected to people who help you ripple, who encourage your ripple, who allow you to keep rippling, that you give that to yourself based off the connections you choose in your experience in your life. Hold gratitude. Life's invaluable lessons for all the time you waited to be saved and you finally learned how to save yourself. That is a miracle in and of itself. That is a miracle in and of itself. And it's a good day now because you're not questioning yourself anymore. You're not questioning your heart anymore. You're not questioning if you're hurting people or not anymore because you're not hurting yourself. And if other people are hurt, that's just them being triggered to heal themselves, to heal that trigger. Whatever it is, that they would project it out at you. You're not taking it personal because you're a fucking warrior woman. Look at this shit. Powerful as all hell. Boom. Warrior woman says, if you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? What would you say? What would you create? What would you do if you weren't afraid of what anybody else would say or do or how they would react? You're a warrior. You're fearless, right? It's fearlessness. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? When I lean toward love, I am led. And the moment I embrace peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. When you surrender the outcome, when you lean on that love of self, when you lean on who you are, that you love who you are and you love your intention and you love your core and you're not imposing it on anybody else, you're just simply being it. You're just simply being your best self. You're being your best version. The moment you embrace that and you're at peace with it, you're at peace with who you are now. On your own terms, you're at peace with who you are. When you surrender to the outcome, right? You're surrendering the outcome. I don't know how other people are going to take me. I don't know how they're going to react to me. Some of them might be good, some of them might be bad, and you know what? It's neither here nor there, and it doesn't fucking matter because I know the universe is working through me. I know that the universe, God, source, creator, spirit is working through me because I love myself. And I'm at peace with me and what I choose and what I do and what I say and what I don't do and what I don't say and what I refuse to do. I'm at peace with my choices and I feel good about them. Straight up going to war for yourself. Straight up. Allowing that truth, right? Because the sword represents truth, to reign supreme. And being really grateful for all the experiences, because you know if anybody's getting triggered and anybody's reacting to you, you can say thank you. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, Universe. Thank you for allowing me to be there at this moment in that person's life to help them learn whatever it is they're learning. I don't know what it is, but I know when people are triggered as shit, they're healing something. And I know I'm not being triggered. I know I'm at peace because I've healed myself. I've healed myself. I'm fearless. I lean into love and I know that I am led. I lean into what feels good here and I know that I am led in the right direction and it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but me. And you're just rippling. Completely rippling on your own terms. Because you save you. As everybody else is supposed to, right? Save themselves. If someone has a problem, they can't find a solution out there, they gotta figure out a way to create it from within. Right, they gotta find a way to create it from within. And they will. So I hope that helps. I hope that helps, because that was very clear cut and very awesome, to be completely honest. That was wonderful confirmation. All right, moving forward to Phantom Shadows and then Crystal Lake, and then we're going to wrap this up, guys. All right, so Phantom Shadows, we're going to start at the 2-hour, 42-minute mark. And 32 seconds. All right, here we go. Here we go. Code name, Phantom Shadows, and those who are drawn or resonate to this message. Right, code name, Phantom Shadows, and those who are drawn or resonate to this message. What is the focus of the healing, please? What is the focus of the healing? The root chakra. Home and self are synonymous. Okay, home and self are synonymous. So the root chakra and home is the focus of the healing. Here we go. Freaking beautiful. I love this. Freaking beautiful is literally the name of the card. Freaking beautiful. All right, archetypal energy. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit? For code names, Phantom Shadows, and those who would be drawn to it or resonate to this message. That's too many. There we go. Oh, yeah. Destroyer. Whoa. That's a fucking power. That's a power archetypal energy, I'll tell you that. All right. Universe has your back, deck. Let's move these up here. Ooh, there it is. Maybe you need to reorganize your house or rearrange some things and change the energy, because as soon as I shifted the cards, it flew out. Here we go. Remember card. What needs to be remembered for codename Phantom Shadows? And Work Your Light Oracle cards. What card above all other cards? Spirit, Phantom Shadows, and those who would resonate to this message. All right. Get grounded. Again, root chakra energy. Okay. So the key words for home and the root chakra card is shelter, safety, nurturing, and warmth. Your home is a peaceful haven. Positive affirmation for yourself. If you need to sit and focus on that, my home is a peaceful haven. My home is a peaceful haven. My home is a peaceful haven. And if home represents the self, and your home is cluttered, or there's things that need to get done that have been getting put off, and they've been getting put off, and they've been getting put off, then you need to ask yourself how you need to clean yourself internally, how you need to clean your own energy or clean your own mind and get back on track, declutter, or to work on the things within yourself that you've been putting off and putting off and putting off, fixing or handling, right? So that you become a safe haven for yourself and allow that to reflect in your experience, right? Root chakra is all about trust. Trust and releasing control. Releasing control of all the things that you feel like you need to do and just focus on the things that you would feel really good about getting done instead, right? So that you can rest and you can relax and be at peace. Like this cute little ferret there in his little hammock, right? Creating a place that is a sanctuary for yourself. And remember, it's absolutely better to be ridiculous than boring. That's what it says. It's better to be absolutely ridiculous than absolutely boring. Right? So if you're different and you're shaking shit up, maybe your home looks like everybody else's home right now. Maybe you want to put up fancy artwork, or maybe outrageous artwork, or maybe you want to have, you know, a crystal whatever, like a crystal curtain in between doors or hallways, and nobody else has one, and maybe people will think you're weird, but that's what resonates with you. You know, maybe other people don't have all their little crystal babies out on their windowsill with their plants and whatever else, but maybe you do. You know what I mean? So it's like, make sure that your home represents you, you know, and feel really good about that, to where you walk in and you're like, oh, thank God I'm home. I'm back in my own energy, right? Thank God I'm home. The energy here resonates with me. It's not stressing me out. There's nothing that needs to get done. I'm at fucking peace, right? I'm at peace. And it's okay if you're a little ridiculous to other people, because at least you ain't fucking boring like everybody else. You're not no cookie cutter whatever, you know. And if it has to do with family dynamics and things like that, like, guess what? Maybe you run your family different. Maybe you run your circle different, because family can be soul tribe too, right? Maybe you run it different and you're not like everybody else, and that is perfectly fucking fine. Feel safe with who you are, right? Because home and self. Do that inner work, do that inner cleaning, do that reorganizing, right? Shift your perspective, feel really at peace with yourself and your environment. Don't be afraid that you're not like everybody else, or doing it the way everybody else does, or you don't have the same dream as everybody else. Maybe everybody else's dream was to have the 2-story house with the 2-car garage and the white picket fence and the dog and the cat and the 2 kids or whatever. And maybe that's just not your vision. Maybe you want more. Maybe you want different. That's fine. Because otherwise you're going to drive yourself fucking miserable being boring doing what everybody else wants you to fucking do. Right? There's no fucking fun in that. You only get this lifetime once. You only get this lifetime once. So live your best life. Live your best life. Freaking beautiful. Here we go. You are here to march to your own beat. You can be happy and free, Whether the world looks at you with awe, admiration, confusion, or love, or all of these things at once. Others can love you even if they can't always understand you. Being different doesn't mean being alone. It's only when you try to change yourself to fit into a stereotype that you will lose your way, become unhappy, discover obstacles, and feel increasingly rejected or defeated by life. The universe doesn't want you to be someone else. It wants you to be you. When you quit trying to fit in and enjoy being yourself, you win. Normal is not for you. Don't be afraid of it. Deep down, you know you are a good kind of crazy and an individual, and you would never be happy trying to be the same as everyone else. You have an inner sense of justice and need to question authority when it doesn't earn your respect. This may make some people uncomfortable, and while it inspires others to think for themselves and not automatically assume that everything they are told is correct. We need more of this in our world. Questioning things. Just the fact that you would question anybody. Well, why? Well, everybody's been doing it this way for years. Or this is the way our family's been doing it for years. Or this is the way I was taught how to do it for years. But why? Why? Do it. I want to do it different. I want to experience life different. I want to go for it. Yeah, I'm different. Fuck yeah, thank God I am. Thank God I am, because at the end of the day, if I did everything like everybody else, not only would I be fucking bored, I'd be miserable and I'd be complaining about things. Just like everybody else is. Because they don't know they're unique. But I know I'm unique. I sense it, and I'm not going to deny it anymore. So what are you doing? You're destroying that shit. You're destroying the paradigm. You're destroying the program. You're destroying the old way. Letting go of the intoxication with destructive power and destroying others' dreams or potential. Because not only are you unique and different, you might be around other people, especially in the home, that are unique and different. And you might be telling them to do it a certain way and telling them to do it a certain way and telling them to do it a certain way. And they're just not listening because it just doesn't vibe with them. Don't teach them that if they're not a certain way, it's not acceptable. Teach them how to better understand their way so that it is of benefit to everybody else. Teach them how to use their authenticity to ripple, right? Just like you should have been taught, or would have fared better being taught how to nurture your own authenticity, to not being afraid to be different. What doesn't work for you might work for someone else, and what works for someone else might not work for you. What works for you might not work for them. But what works for them might work with other people that they're connected with, and you can't tell them not to be that way. 'Cause that sucks. It's not hurting anybody. You know what I mean? As long as they're not hurting anybody or putting anybody in harm's way. You know what I mean? Boundaries, healthy boundaries, limits. But it's okay to be different, right? It's okay to be different. So destroy the old way that everybody has to be the same or do it a certain way. Maybe you know, you're told, you've been telling your kids, you know, go to college, go to college, go to college, and for whatever reason, you know, your kid's just not doing it. They're not applying, and you're like, well, why aren't they applying? They're fucking lazy. They don't know what's good for them. Da 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 da. It doesn't resonate with them. Maybe they actually really want to go to a trade school, or maybe they just want to start an apprenticeship at a job, or maybe they want to work for themselves and they just need support building it because they have some really good ideas. Maybe they'd fare better just taking an online class or certification for management or business ownership or whatever the fuck they want to do, right? Doesn't have to be done the same way everybody else is doing it. So destroy the idea that it has to be a certain way, not just for you, but with other people. Or there's a will, there's a way, and there's always a better way to do it that resonates and you can actually feel good about it and it takes the pressure off. God knows if you decided you just wanted to go get a certification and you didn't want to go through 4 or 6 or 8 years of college, you just saved yourself a fuck ton of debt that you didn't need because your authentic path would have took you down another road where you didn't need that shit anyway. That's why it didn't resonate to begin with. So allow it to just flow. Allow it to just flow. Allow whatever lessons need to be learned, because you don't know what someone's life lessons are as a soul. You don't know what they're meant to go through or learn through. Just like your family may not have knew what your lessons were. Right? So you're breaking it down. Affirmation: I always trust the direction of the universe and know I'm being guided. Dragonflies are symbolic of illusion and fantasy and legend. So allow yourself to become legendary. Allow other people to become legendary in their own life, in their own families. You know, they were the first to do this or the first to do that because you know what? They actually did it their way and they were supported because they learned along the way. They had guidance. They had people that weren't judging them or telling them they were wrong, and they were being gifted the ability to learn and heal however they needed to learn and heal. Always trust the direction of the universe and know you're being guided. There's a reason why things resonate and why things don't. There's a reason why people put things off and why they don't. There's a reason why. Everybody is an individual. That is the reminder. Everybody is an individual. You're unique. Everybody else is unique. We are not cookie cutters. We are not cookie cutter people here. We are not cookie cutter souls here. Okay, we all have different unique lessons. So remember, you leave your unique stamp of love on everything that you do. The truth. You allow your unique stamp of love on everything that you do. It's freaking beautiful. It's better to be ridiculous than boring. It's better to be fucking crazy. Someone can tell you that's crazy. People told me that me going on tour and doing the Angels Exist tour is fucking crazy. That's crazy. People don't just do that. You're this or you're that. You can't just do that. You're putting yourself in danger. No, I'm fine. I'm being guided and being told that I'm fine. I would rather be ridiculous than boring. I don't regret that or would change that for anything. You know what I mean? So allow yourself to be ridiculous. Don't allow anybody, even yourself, to speak those words that that's impossible or you can't do it that way. Why the fuck not? Trial and error, of course. Trial and error. God knows if I did the Angels Exist tour again, I'd make sure I had a brand new van. That wasn't going to break down. You know what I mean? But it's like that kind of thing where you love the experience. You love the experience. Destroy that old paradigm that says you can't or you shouldn't or it has to be a certain way. And get grounded because you're feeling it from other people. You're feeling other people wanting to fit in and wanting to be what everybody else wants them to be, and you're maybe even projecting that at them, you know, and bringing it into the world. No, you should do this or you should do that because the part of their consciousness is trying to reiterate that they need to be different than what they are, and maybe what they really need is you to say it's okay to be yourself. Get grounded. It's okay to be yourself. Get grounded. Stabilize the energies, right? Stabilize the energies. Connect with your own nature so that other people can connect with their own nature. Right? Highly sensitive people. These are big paths that we're on. You know, like I said, these are power cards. You know, and it starts with trusting the divine, trusting everybody's unique path, trusting that everybody is an individual and know that they're all being guided. Everybody's being guided 24/7. It doesn't stop. The divine does not stop for anything. The divine works 24/7. The universal laws are in effect 24/7. They don't take a break. They're working when we're asleep. They're working when we're awake. They're working when we're out taking the trash and outside. They're working when we take a shower. They're working when we're putting on our shoes. The laws of attraction, the laws of the universe are always in effect. There's no mistakes. There's no mistakes. There's only misperceptions. It's all. And we manifest based on our own energy, our experience, and we come back and learn what we didn't learn before, and it's all about being an individual. This is all about being a unique individual. So if you manifested to this code name, Phantom Shadows, the idea that you need to be like anybody else is a fucking shadow, and it's an illusion. It's not real. It's a phantom shadow. It's not real. The cookie cutter life, the cookie cutter way to be happy, it's not real. I would love to take a poll of people, right? Because everybody has this idea, well, everybody has their childhoods. And people that have better childhoods with parents that have more money and blah, 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 come out better than everybody else who struggles growing up. Listen, everybody has their childhood. Everybody thinks that, you know, especially with, you know, movies and, you know, you have to, you know, get through high school, go to college, get a job, meet somebody, then get married, then have kids, you know, blah, 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 and you'll be happy. How many people shoot for that dream and how many people achieve it and are happy? Legit happy. Don't fucking lie to me. Well, I'm happy most of the time. You're either happy or you're not. You can have happy moments that you create for yourself in a very unhappy situation, or you can just create a happy situation. Or sometimes unfortunate things happen, but that's just life. But you are happy, right? There's a difference. There is a difference. So, I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Phantom shadows. There's no right or wrong way to live life. There's only a right or wrong way to listen to yourself, right? Listening to yourself, or rather listening to others over yourself. So, Crystal Lake. Last one, codename Crystal Lake. We are starting it at the 3-hour mark. 3 hours on the dot. I know, I've been live a long time, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. Last one, here we go. All right. Thank you guys for liking it too. All the thumbs up, I appreciate that. I appreciate all the shares too. Getting the messages out there for people that need to resonate to them. You're all awesome. You're all my fellow divine rebels. My rebel hearts. All right. Spirit, please, for Crystal Lake, code name Crystal Lake. What is the focus of the healing for those who would resonate to this secret code name? Solar plexus. What is the Love Your Inner Goddess Oracle card that needs to come out in their highest good for code name Crystal Lake and those who would be drawn to this code name? It's magic, you know. Do, 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 do. What is the archetypal energy, please, Spirit, for Crystal Lake? Universe has your back card, please. Codename Crystal Lake. Okay. Whoa. Remember. And Work Your Light Oracle. What card above all other cards, please, Spirit, for codename Crystal Lake and those who would resonate to this message? Who would be drawn to that code name? Bang. Okay. All right. Starting off with the solar plexus chakra as the main focus for the healing, and this is responsibility. Keywords are self-discipline, empowerment, reliability, and fulfillment. You have a responsibility to stay consistent, consistently authentic, consistently honoring your truth. It is your responsibility to grow your seed. You decide where you want to be planted. You decide if you can break the surface. You decide if you can grow a couple leaves and take in that nourishment, that you can absorb the light from outside of yourself and allow yourself to grow, to feed off the inspiration, to bloom with what is naturally given to you by the environment around you that loves you and nurtures you naturally. It's your responsibility to fulfill your true nature to the highest good that you can. Nobody else is going to let you crack your own shell. Nobody else is going to give you the right amount of water. Nobody else is going to give you the right amount of sunlight. Nobody's going to plant you in the perfect spot. It's your responsibility to figure that out. Some plants, like you might plant a seed somewhere and it doesn't get enough light, so it's okay, it's not growing there. I got to plant them somewhere else. I'm not growing there. I'm not being my most beautiful self there. I'm not growing to my full potential. I'm stunted here. Maybe I need to uproot myself and move somewhere else, right? You have a responsibility to thrive, to be authentic and thrive in that. Solar plexus is all about confidence, being reliable and consistent, that you can depend on you to always be you, that other people can depend on you to always be you, that you don't change faces or you don't change personalities or put on a different mask in front of different groups of people, that you're consistently the same no matter where you are. No matter where you are. And I'm not talking about, well, I drop F-bombs all the time, so, when I go to work, I'm supposed to drop F-bombs too. No, you're a professional at work. You know what I mean? But who you are in your core, your personality, your likes, your dislikes, how you treat people is the same. You don't treat this person better because they have money. You don't treat this person better because they, do this or do that for you. You're just a good person and you treat people a certain way. You don't hold the door just because that person has a wheelchair or has a cane or they're walking, and they need help opening the door. Maybe you're just the kind of person that opens a fucking door and helps people. There's no rhyme or reason to it. You just are, right? You have a responsibility to be consistent of being. Consistency of being, it's your responsibility. All right, and then we get good witch magic, right? Creating your own magic. Crowning yourself in that authenticity, because that's what that is. That's what that is. When you crown your authenticity, that's your magic. That's your magic. Let's read this for you, for people who fast forward, because I know we pulled this for another reading, but I want to make sure that people who are fast forwarding get all the messages. So here we go. It says, it's time to use your words. Speak up for what you want. If someone is saying negative things about you, or you are thinking negative thoughts about yourself or anyone else, don't believe them and don't sink to that level by lashing out. Instead, speak the goodness of beautiful truth that you want to affirm right now. Use the positive power of your words, thoughts, and intentions to override and replace the meanness, fear, hate, or jealousy of anyone else. Their pain is not your pain, right? Hurt people, and that goes for you too. If you don't want to hurt people, don't consider yourself a hurt person. Don't spread hurt, right? Don't spread hurt. And by hurt, I mean by lies and delusion and falsities, okay? Putting on masks. Because the truth might be painful, but it's fucking healing, right? It is not mean, it's honest. The goodness in you is more powerful than the badness in anyone or anything else. The goodness in you is more powerful. There's a reason why they're talking about words and words being powerful, because if you think about words, they call it spelling. And spelling is magic. Your words are powerful. If you're constantly saying, yeah, that person's an asshole, yeah, that person's an asshole, that person's an asshole, well, that person's in your experience and they're being a fucking asshole. So you either, one, need to say something to that person, be like, listen, I really don't appreciate it. I really don't like whenever I'm around you that this is how you come off, or this is how you talk to me, or this is how you treat me. I really don't like it. And that person might be a fucking asshole and say, well, I don't fucking care. I am who I am. So then you have a responsibility to yourself that says, you know what? I'm not going to keep drumming that home that this person's an asshole and I got to deal with them. Maybe I don't have to deal with them anymore. And now that I brought it to their attention that I didn't appreciate it, whatever I was bringing into their life and their experience is fucking gone now. Because they couldn't respect the fact that they were hurting me or upsetting me in some way, and I don't have to tolerate it. And now instead of saying, God, that person's such an asshole, God, that person's such an asshole, you're sitting there, I really empowered myself today. I'm really proud of myself today. I stood up to that person. I didn't take their shit anymore. You're changing the words around. You're not beating the drum home that someone's an asshole. You're beating the drum home now that you're proud of yourself. Because you are responsible for your growth. You decide what environments are nurturing for you and what isn't. What's conducive to your growth and what's not. Right? You create your own magic. Because you don't have to say to that person, yeah, you're such a fucking asshole. Because what's going to happen is that person's going to get defensive and they're like, yeah, well, you're a fucking bitch. I'm just being myself. Not my fault you don't like it. Like, listen, I don't really appreciate it. You know, you're not calling names, because name calling doesn't fucking solve anything. It doesn't do anything except make someone defensive. This is constructive conversation. Constructive conversation. And if someone can't handle it or you have to go your separate ways, great. Now you're not dealing with that storyline anymore. You will thank yourself. You will be proud of yourself. You will feel empowered the next time that you have or encounter someone like that. Because you know what? They're either going to respect you or they're not. Because you're respecting yourself or you're not. And if you're respecting yourself, it's going to demand respect from the people around you. Because if you're demanding a certain amount of respect and whatever, people are either going to meet that bar or they're not. And you're either going to have people around you that respect you or not. If someone doesn't show me any kind of respect, why the fuck would I keep them around? I'll let them know, like, hey, I don't appreciate it. You know, or when you said that to me, it was really disrespectful. I don't think maybe you realized it at the time, but I wanted to bring it to your awareness so it doesn't happen again. And if someone says, oh, no, I know what I said, I'm like, oh, all right. Well, thank you. Thank you for clarifying that for me, because now I know I'm just not interested in being around you. Thank you. I appreciate you for that. Thank you for being honest with me. If nothing else, thank you for being honest with me. And move forward. Amen, right? Amen to that. The gambler as an archetypal energy, relying on luck rather than hard work. Sometimes you are moving ahead blind. Sometimes you are. Right? Sometimes you are. Sometimes you don't know where you're going. Sometimes you don't know what the reason is. All you know is you have a responsibility to yourself to create your own fulfillment, to empower yourself, to stay disciplined in that self-empowerment, that reliability, to stay disciplined in it, right? To not make exceptions. There is nobody you can't speak your truth to. No one. And if someone is making you feel like you can't, or they're intimidating you, or you're afraid that you might lose whatever they're bringing to the table, that's an issue between you and you. That you would deem yourself not reliable to sustain your self-empowerment. Right? It's hard. It's relying on your own hard work rather than just luck. Right? Well, maybe if I just don't say anything that they'll just figure it out. No, sometimes you need to fucking say something, and it's the hard part. That's the hard part, right? That's the hard work. That's actually saying something. It doesn't take a lot of effort, but it takes a lot of mental overcoming, right? It's hard work to overcome our mind sometimes. Sometimes it's really hard to overcome our mind because our mind's like, nope, don't do it, 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 don't do it. They're going to react this way. You're going to lose them. You're going to lose them if you do it. But being around them fucking sucks. And your mind keeps telling you, don't do it, don't lose them. But it fucking sucks. So it doesn't matter if you lose them or not. It doesn't even matter. You got to get over the hard part, right? Over the hard part that says it matters when it doesn't. What matters is how you feel. And if you don't feel good about something and you keep putting out these toxic words, right? These toxic patterns that are spelling, right? Because words are powerful. They're magic. Words are magic by default. You can't change that, right? So be really clear about the words you're putting out and the thoughts you're projecting, and not just about other people, but yourself. God, I'm such a bitch. Or God, I'm so fucking lazy. Or God, I wish I could. I wish I could this. I wish I could that. You know, I'm so this. I'm so that. I'm not this. I'm not that. Well, I believe this and I believe that. But they're not even fucking true. You need to change the words, right? You need to change the words and get really, really solid and consistent in the positive energy that you're feeding yourself. Right, getting really consistent in the positive energy that you're feeling yourself. That we have warrior woman and soul and protection out here. You really do got to protect yourself from hateful motherfuckers who are dragging your energy down. Eclipse that shit and block that out, because their ego has no fucking place. Not in defining who you are. It didn't have any right to define you then. And it's got no right to define you now. It's got no right to define you now. You need to be able to protect yourself. You need to be able to block it out. And say, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Call back your power. Cut the cords. Soul retrieval. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? You have a responsibility to yourself to create positive things in your life, that you can talk about positive experience. Because if all you're doing is venting every day to your best friend about how your life sucks, and all they're doing every day is venting to you about how their life sucks, and your best friend's in your misery, your life's not changing, and you're both going to stay miserable a really long time. Maybe y'all need to cut cords, not necessarily with each other, but with the people that are making you miserable, that are causing you to vent all the fucking time. Maybe you need to protect yourself from those energies. Maybe you and your friend need to get together and come up with a plan to end that shit. And if your friend's going, well, I can't do it, I can't leave him, I can't this, I can't that, and they're in fear state, does that mean you have to stay rooted too with them? Does that mean you have to stay there with them? Maybe it's your turn to show them, you know what, we don't have to settle for this bullshit anymore. Maybe we can create this future. And if you're in it with me, great. And if you're not, oh well, because I'm going to do it for myself. I'm going to create a better environment for myself. Remember, a card is satisfaction. Remember, you let the energy of love guide you to self-approval so that others no longer define who you are. You approve of yourself. You don't cast judgment on yourself. You know, someone, you know, I'll give you an example of a part of my past. I was with a guy. He was a really genuinely beautiful person, and he did give me everything that I wanted. You know, that I wanted. He gave me the house. You know, I had a safe place for my son. He helped me with a car. You know, I had food in the fridge. I didn't have to worry about anything. You know, he would treat me to clothes and jewelry and stuff, and I fell out of love with him. I fell out of love with him. And I was talking to my friends about it, you know, and I said, well, I feel selfish or I feel stupid because people would give anything to have what I have with him. Like, who am I to say I don't want it? You know what I mean? Like, am I crazy and whatever? Like, I used to ask myself that, and, you know, I would complain, and she would complain. I was like, you know what? I just don't want to be with him. Like, it's nothing against him personally. I'm just not in love with him, right? And so it was a matter of having to understand, like, it doesn't matter. I need to love and approve of myself. And people did call me crazy. Oh, you're crazy. He loves you to death. He would do anything for you. Yeah, but I'm not able to reciprocate it. And I feel like an asshole for not being able to reciprocate it. And that's not fair to me. I have a responsibility to do better than that. I have a responsibility to do better here with that. And I was able to love him and reciprocate it back by setting him free. Setting him free to somebody that actually fucking loved him for all that he was doing. And I got to manifest my dream. Right? It ripples. I had a responsibility to nourish myself because I wasn't actually being nourished on a soul level. I was being nourished on a physical level, but not on a soul level. And there's a fucking difference. And I'm still very good friends with him. God knows I would do anything for him if he needed me and I was capable, and vice versa. We got each other's backs. There's respect. Because I didn't go off and end up cheating on him trying to find love somewhere else. I just fucking said, hey, this is the truth. I appreciate you and I have a lot of love for you, but I'm not in love with you, right? So it's a matter of self-approval. It doesn't matter what anybody else says. When you stop putting out negative words and you start thinking positive, be like, I know there's more for myself out there. I know there's more for me. I don't know what it is, but I feel like there's just more that I have to experience and I can't do it here. And I got to go find myself. I got to go find myself. That was literally the words I chose when I talked to him. I was like, I need to go find myself. Because I don't know why I'm not happy here when I have everything. I don't know why I'm not happy here when I have everything. I got to go find myself, and that's exactly what I did. And I wouldn't change it for the world, and I don't think he would either. Because we're both in happier places right now, literally. Here, happier here, right? Self-approving. So, I hope that helps. If you weren't afraid, what would you do? If you weren't afraid, what would you do? Sometimes you just got to do the hard part. Getting over the mental prisons of things. Getting over the idea that you could lose someone who doesn't deserve to be hurt. You're only hurting them more if you stick around when you know you don't want to be there. For whatever your reasons are. You don't even have to know what the reasons are. God knows when I left my ex, I didn't know why I wasn't happy. I just knew I wasn't, and I had to figure it out. And I'm really glad. I'm really glad. I would have never met my flame. I would have never met my twin flame if I stayed. So, with that said, that wraps up all of the readings for the new moon in Aries, the Heal Yourself readings. I'm going to get this posted. It is about 200 minutes altogether, right? Over 3 hours. So the replay will take some time to load because it has to process and all that jazz. And I will make sure that all the timestamps get in there. And if for whatever reason there's big chunks of this missing, because like I said, I don't know how the connection with YouTube is all the time. Sometimes it goes straight and it's great, and sometimes there's little pieces missing. So I did have it recording on a separate device, just a camera without any Wi-Fi, so that if for whatever reason we lose any of these readings, I will have the ability to load it up in its entirety, okay? As like as a backup, I have it recorded. So until next time, everybody, thank you all for tuning in. And thank you all for focusing on yourselves and your healing and empowering yourself and taking that responsibility, right, to be aware, self-aware, and putting that beautiful ripple out into everybody that you meet and everybody that you cross. It's greatly appreciated by the collective. So until next time, guys, love each other, and most importantly, love yourself. Bye, everybody.